Right, all that happened is Triple H went to Vince McMahon and said, Vince, ITV in the UK are doing a World of Sport. And Vince went, shut them down!
Yeah,
and that's it. Would you mind terribly if we made love this evening?
It's actually not too far from
I bet it's really not. If you hate Gibson, shoes off, and you see half of the crowd standing up with a shoe in the air, like what dedication is that to take your shoe off at a wrestling event to show your hate?
Amazing.
That was a hilarious chant. That was brilliant. More of that.
Hello, wrestling fans. It's good to be back on this summery sunny day in Hull. We are the Gimme Hull Your Wrestling podcast. My name is Dom. That's Anthony, and this is a wonderful time to be alive and a wrestling fan, isn't it?
British wrestling fan,
my fine bearded bro.
Absolutely, man. I mean, look, right? Wrestling in Britain hasn't been a massive thing for years. There's been so much good wrestling on the independent scene.
Yep.
NGW, which comes to Hull, has been excellent recently. The
Props
stuff
to
that
the NGW
Progress
guys,
have been doing. And now it's coming into the forefront, man.
Yeah, with WWE. Although I felt really good about it, and I felt really good going into this episode. And it's a really obvious thing, but you talked to me about it, and you said, WWE. I was so buzzed after this, guys, for like British wrestling, and then you were and then you reminded me that the World of Sport have a show as
special,
well. And this is basically Vince McMahon getting his bits out and going, wiggling them about a bit and saying,
bigger.
Look at all my money and look at what I can do. And that kind of put a dampener on it for me. I was really sad about that.
Sorry.
Because you want to believe that Vince and Triple H are like, yeah, we love British wrestling. Yeah, British wrestling is the next greatest thing to American wrestling. US wrestling is the best wrestling on the planet aside from in Japan. And that's brilliant. But what they're actually doing is just using their money and their clout to dominate the market. So
the British wrestling, right? The biggest period of British wrestling was before we was born, in 1965 to 1985.
Guys like Giant Haystacks.
On terrestrial TV, there was a program called World of Sport, and that was on every Saturday. It was basically like Grandstand, so they'd have like snooker or whatever. At the end of each show was a segment, and it was wrestling. Yeah. And like I've heard my parents talk about it, about watching it with their parents and stuff like that.
And my parents, they only know like Giant Haystacks.
Absolutely.
They're like, oh, so you watch wrestling? Have you heard of Giant Haystacks?
But they talk about it in the way that we talk about it. So like I'll talk to you about Mankind and like Hell in a Cell and when he happened. They'll be talking about Mick McManus fighting in Daddy Haystack's car, Big Giant Haystack's car, or Big Daddy. Stepping on Johnny Saint's cat, and all that sort of rubbish. And but it's great to see them excited about wrestling. But they all say that American wrestling is fake and the British wrestling is real. It's hard to explain to them that actually it's all fake. Yeah, it's not real, man.
It's pretty funny when you look back at it, I think.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, like you say, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they film it. What it's like, because obviously, different style of cameras back then and stuff. A different level of nostalgia. Yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see the World of Sport stuff.
Well, World of Sport last year, 2017, or at the end of 2016, I think, had a special on, and basically there was bringing back World of Sport for a special, and it was just focused on wrestling. Mm-hmm. And you had British guys in there, like El Ligero was in there, a couple
Leeds,
of others. Great talent in there. They had Jim Ross on commentary along with Alex Shane. Alex Shane is great on commentary, really clear voice, brilliant. And it didn't come back, but the WWF were really concerned that they were going to get a hold of the British wrestling market. So what they did is they had a championship tournament in 2017, which brought us the likes of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, who provided one of the best matches of last year.
It was voted, wasn't it? Yeah.
We chose it as one of our best matches. Incredible talents, and this weekend. Or last weekend, wasn't it? But what they were showing on WWE TV this week was outstanding, man.
Amazing, like an incredible pay-per-view and a real feel-good vibe. I mean, seeing guys like Ligero, who's dropped the L, I think, on WWE TV. Like seeing that Ligero and Mastiff. Those guys.
Yeah, man.
And they look so British, but they're so good.
Absolutely.
They're such British
Mastiff,
lads.
Man, such a boss.
Yeah, he is, and such a good mover.
Absolutely.
I would have gone a completely different way with the results, but that's just me and favoritism towards certain wrestlers. Yeah. I mean, you can't deny that there's I think that end match, how it came out, was really well done and designed for a classic.
Yeah, it was a clever build-up. It was a good sort of event that happens within itself as well, and it's sort of a contained event that you can sort of watch. Now, let's talk a little bit about, because the reason WWE have done this tournament again this year, because there was rumours we were going to do a UK thing last year. Mm-hmm. It never amounted to anything because World of Sport wasn't doing anything, so what's the point in doing competition? British wrestling, it's not business. Of course it's a business to WWE. That's why they're doing it, because they're afraid of what World of Sport will do, taking away their market. Now,
and ITV has a lot of
ITV. It's a free channel to watch on British TV. And so, who do you think? So, if this was a new it's not Monday Night, but a Monday Night War, because World of Sport are filming 10 episodes to go out later on in this year. And they're going to go out, and this is why WWE is putting on the WWE UK to NXT UK to compete with that. Who do you think is going to win this?
It's going to be a tough call. I think in terms of, more people are going to watch World of Sport.
It's on free TV.
Potentially, I suppose there's no factual accuracy to that statement yet, but you would imagine. But then, where you've got guys like I was researching, you've got guys that are already turning down offers from WWE to go to World of Sport. There's a couple of guys that competed in the Cruiserweight tournament. Zack Sabre Jr. has turned down.
But it makes no sense for Zack Sabre Jr. to be in the WWE because of all the incredible stuff that he's doing in New Japan.
He's turned down. Now, World of Sport, do you think that they could attract guys in that vein, like on the independents in America, to come over?
What if World of Sport got Kenny Omega?
Well, exactly. I mean, amazing. I mean, you've got Preston City Wrestling. You've got all these wrestling companies without TV deals, as far as I'm aware, that attract these international, former WWE guys. A lot of them. There's every potential for former WWE guys. I mean, not that you're going to want Big Cass.
But we'll have him with Enzo.
Exactly. But there's every potential for recently fired guys from WWE to want to travel to the UK because it's a televised deal and it's a massive TV deal. So you've got guys that would normally go to Preston City Wrestling and get decent money, but not national TV, perhaps international viewership. Because I mean, surely you're going to. There's an ITV player. People can watch that internationally. I'm assuming.
I'd imagine so.
I know there's some country locks and
things, they'll put it on YouTube or something like that.
So you can imagine guys like Ryback perhaps just pulling the name out, King Barrett,
so. Yeah, absolutely, who did a bit of stuff with WCPW last year.
In the same way that people go to Japan, in the same way Chris Jericho shows up in New Japan. World of Sport, Chris Jericho.
More money, more wrestling, and it is really exciting. Yeah. Here's another quick question that I had for you. So, is there enough time? So, ITV are going to put this on at whatever hour, we don't know yet, but they're going to put on probably an hour-long weekly show of wrestling, right?
Yep.
Is there enough time on normal free TV to put on more wrestling? Like, it's not easy to get time on TV, on free TV. They've got Coronation Street already on, and that ain't moving anyway.
Wrestling's super popular, man. Like, it's one of the most popular sports.
It's getting more and more popular.
It's one of the most popular sports that we have in the, forms of entertainment that are in the world right now.
Yeah.
Perhaps not, in the same way. I mean, I don't think it supersedes baseball or basketball in America.
Well, I don't think it'll supersede American football. If you look at the Super Bowl, that's the biggest sporting event.
But then in the same way as the UK, we have cricket and soccer. So perhaps not that, but like I think
we have soccer or football.
I'm still stuck in America. Clearly, I was watching football games in America. I watched the Super Bowl last year.
Cool.
With the Philadelphia Eagles one, so I'm still stuck in that.
You've got a very soccer mum haircut, you know that.
I'm repping AJ Styles.
Yeah, he's baby. My bro. He's your bro. No, so it's so exciting for us, and like to watch this pay-per-view. Want a pay-per-view, the special event, and it was really good as well, which just makes us even more excited because now World of Sport have to sort of top it. And that's exciting.
Does that point I made, does it have the same effect on you? Do you feel, because again, I came in here, we came to film, and we're like, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this episode. Now I feel kind of gutted because but then
no,
you're right.
Really excited.
It's business, and that's
it's competition.
It's business, it's competition, yeah.
And competition.
I need to think about it like that.
Look at the WWF in the '97, right? They had competition from WCW. They were getting beat by WCW.
ECW at the time as well.
And ECW I don't think they'd ever beat
ratings
wise.
Yeah.
But there was competition out there, and it was big competition, and WWF had to up the game, and they did. And we had all that great stuff with Stone Cold and The Rock and all these sort of incredible names that have become incredible stars, and all came out of that sort of...
Incredible.
So
yeah, you're
amazing.
right. You're right. Maybe I feel a little bit better about it now. It just I know it's business and that's the world we live in. But it's just I can just imagine Triple H and Vince having a conversation between the two of them, and he's like, Vince, we got this triple. That's my Triple H.
Yeah. It's really rubbish. Yeah. But carry on, please.
I'm the great. No, that's going to be terrible too. I'll do my Vince. Well, that's
the game as well.
Yeah. What he's like? He's like, well, Triple H. I got to do the accent anyway. So they're talking to themselves, and they're like, shit. I mean, not shit. I mean, not like that because we can't say that. Oh no, okay. They're gonna beep. They're gonna be like beep. This is terrible. What are we gonna do? ITV in the UK, and Vince is like, it's okay. We have all this money. Look at my big grapefruits.
Right. And all that happened is Triple H went to Vince McMahon and said, Vince, ITV in the UK are doing a World of Sport.
That's better.
Right? And Vince went, shut them down.
Yeah,
and that's it. That was the conversation. There was no speak of grapefruits or anything. And so that's exciting, man. To me, that's really exciting. And it's great to get the exposure to these guys who are working so hard. And girls, we're going to get females in it. And
yeah. Like a couple.
And
hopefully more than two. But what do you think that... obviously it's on a network. It's a network. I mean, it's going to be weekly, I'm assuming.
Right. There's two ways WWE could do really well here, right? First of all, cross-promotion, right? So you get the big names from either Raw, SmackDown, NXT, the multi-brands, and you get them to appear within it, right? Imagine if...
Yeah, but how often would that... I mean, I suppose they've got the money to fly them over.
Right. All right, here's a good idea. WWE are doing pay-per-views all over the world right now. They've just announced the big pay-per-view event Australia. We've had the Saudi Arabian one earlier on where we get legends, right? What if the UK was next, right? And what if in that UK fight you had Pete Dunne versus Triple H? That would be massive, and the UK would go mental for that sort of stuff. So WWE are not a small company.
We watch it religiously though. Like you can get away with Triple H and the Undertaker fighting in. I suppose it's not. I suppose it's the same.
No, because
you can get away with Triple H and the Undertaker fighting in Australia or Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
but we wouldn't believe it as a credible feud, would we? Like if they just suddenly announced Pete Dunne versus Triple H without any story.
If they built up to it right, it could be phenomenal.
Well, yeah, but
it could be absolutely phenomenal. And the UK crowd, because we have a lot of UK fans who love it and love Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne has a big enough fan base, I think, to warrant Triple H versus Pete Dunne. I know that's a massive statement.
Be huge.
But it'd be
amazing.
It'd be Bret Hart, Bulldog level of match, right? Pete Dunne would even be able to carry Triple H, because I'm not a massive fan of his modern matches, and it's fair enough to say. Pete Dunne would make it amazing. And
they were talking. Triple H was talking about saying he'd be open to a New Japan Pro Wrestling collaboration in the future as well.
Yes,
which would be a sneaky way of building the brand WWE and getting some of the talent that perhaps wouldn't sign for them full time to be on a program with
WWE,
them, like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And just on a side note, WWE is doing that sneaky thing where it's following a bunch of people. Again, and the internet's going nuts. They're just following the Young Bucks now.
Up on the network an early Kenny Omega from, was it All Star American?
Yeah, where he's the Omega Man or something. Yeah.
So the problem with Japan, and the reason why this business model wouldn't necessarily work, in my opinion, in Japan, is because New Japan is so well established.
Yeah.
So for them to go in is actually quite difficult.
Yeah.
this,
they don't
shut it down now before World of Sport becomes a New Japan.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the night, and we'll talk a little bit more about British wrestling. Stick with us. If you're enjoying our content, please
give like and subscribe. We really appreciate it.
Hit us on Facebook.
Yep, we're doing all this for love, just like you were watching it for the love. Any feedback, any support that we can get from you is appreciated. If you don't like my face or his face, more accurately, then we can perhaps change that. I can put a little mask on him or something. We can do that. Whatever you need as viewers, we can do within reason. We've already had our naked selves on this, and YouTube
one episode.
YouTube freaked out a little bit, so we got to be careful. But within reason, we can do what you guys want. So
just let us know. Keep communicating with us on Facebook. We do read all your comments, and we are so grateful to
reply to everything because our level of fame, even though we're skyrocketing towards Vince McMahon's grapefruit, the size of Vince McMahon's grapefruits, we can still have time to reply to comments. So we really appreciate it.
No, thank you. Keep up what were we calling them? After our Survivor Series night, Gaylords.
The Gaylords.
The Gaylords, which is the Gimme a Whole Year community.
We should get. Can we get
a T-shirt?
Could we get a T-shirt? Would that be?
If there's enough demand for a T-shirt, we can make a T-shirt.
We'll do a Gaylords. If you guys think that's okay and we could get away with that, then we should do that. Yeah.
Opening to the pay-per-view, the crowd are chanting "Mamma Mia."
Yeah, that's great.
UK crowd, man.
Yeah, I love. You know what, man? I love Mauro, and I want to watch a documentary about him too. Such an inspiring guy. Like he's got anxiety and depression and stuff.
Yes, and had a really rough time.
And he contributed to old. JBL. I was just trying to find a naughty nickname for him where I could say some swear words, but get away with it. But I can't. I just don't like the guy. No. He was instrumental in getting JBL fired for bullying, which should have happened about a decade ago.
Bullying shouldn't happen.
He was a great American voice for this pay-per-view.
He was
really respectful of British. He kept mentioning soccer and football, and he kept making relevant jokes, and he was well researched.
The Gibson stuff. There was a lot of like Liverpool references and stuff like that. And it was good.
He was well researched because it wasn't. I don't think it was Nigel that referenced the Queen stuff. When he was talking about the opening and things. Oddly, I didn't know that Nigel has not actually lived in the UK for years.
No, he was in Ring of Honor.
He relocated to the US when he was really young.
Right.
When he started studying.
Cool.
And he relocated to the US to study.
And he also had a blue Peter badge on.
Yeah.
What a
really?
legend!
I didn't see that. I noticed that.
Yeah.
But the accent, you'd think he was so you'd think he'd spent a lot of time in the UK.
He's good, man.
He's been in America for a long time.
For me, the best UK announcers, like Nigel McGuinness is great. Alex Shane as well, I think is awesome. Who I don't know if he's doing World of Sport or not, but he did the last one and he was great. World of Sport, quickly back onto that. Jim Ross did the commentating for it, which I found a little strange because he's very American.
Well, yeah, but so is Mauro, but
less so than Jim Ross.
What do you mean?
Well, Jim Ross is like Southern drawl American, Mauro's sort of not generic commentator because he is great, but he's quite unique, is Mauro.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I love Jim Ross. Jim Ross doing World of Sport is cool with me, but
I don't think he's coming back for the new tapings. Just to let you know.
Okay.
Or I read earlier, but we may be surprised. So the qualifiers for all of this event actually happened at the Download Festival,
which you were at.
Not this year, I wasn't, unfortunately. Last year I was, but I wasn't here this year.
Wait, what?
So they had a load of qualifying matches at the Download Festival, including El Ligero, who was there, Joseph Connors, who don't actually fight here. They fought in a couple of matches that were at the event, but they didn't actually fight there. No, I had tickets for Download, but I couldn't go because of my leg.
I got confused. I keep thinking, I'm sure, but then I get confused about everything.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you do. First match, Jack Gallagher versus Zach Gibson, Liverpool's number one comes up.
That came up too many times. They kept doing the Liverpool. I know that's his thing.
Yeah.
They kept mentioning that. It was like
good idea to put Zach Gibson against Gallagher.
Yep.
Gallagher, people know, has had a lot of exposure. He was in the Royal Rumble, for example, last year. Mm-hmm. He's big. To have him go into the first match against Zach Gibson sort of legitimises Zach Gibson, is how I describe it. And it was a good match as well. It was a funny match. Gallagher was playing around in his gentlemanly way.
Yeah, I don't really. He's a talented guy, but I think he needs to. he's one of the standouts. I'm really sad because there's guys on 205 Live that are just amazing, but people are losing interest.
The problem is, man, there's a lot of wrestling to watch. You know, this week, like if we'd watched the UK tournament, I haven't watched Raw and SmackDown. Watching the UK tournament was
I watch
like
it all on YouTube.
6 hours.
Yeah,
you watch highlights.
And I mean, I could do that with the 205 Live, but like guys like guys like Jack Gallagher and like a bunch of them. To be honest, a bunch of those guys are just so talented.
Yeah, man, no, I agree completely.
And they deserve a better. I'm not going to say a better platform because it's WWE, but you know, Jack Gallagher deserves to be there, and he put on an incredible showing.
Yeah,
incredible.
There's only so much time you can dedicate to wrestling, though. Like, we've both got jobs, you know, and like I can't watch 205 Live because I just don't have the time in the week. You know, I need to do other things. You know, and you have to like. I don't even really watch Raw and SmackDown as much anymore. I watch highlights.
Yeah. I mean,
NXT is the sort of one that I will watch. You know.
Yeah. If I was WWE, I'd stick guys like Jack Gallagher. I put him on the UK roster.
I think there will be.
And I don't know how they're going to do that because I know Jack lives in America, and you know. I mean, I suppose they can afford it.
Well, yeah, but it's like, a case of we want you to be a big part of this division. Yeah, you're going to get more exposure than if you stay on the cruiserweights. Yeah. Or we're shutting down the cruiserweight.
Guys like Mustafa Ali. I mean, obviously that perhaps is it going to be entirely UK exclusive or European?
No, I don't think it will.
Probably should be. But guys like, can you imagine what Mustafa Ali could do with an intercontinental version of the title, but on the UK brand? You know, that'd be amazing.
It might happen. It might happen,
Possibly.
Yeah. You know, it depends how much, because them guys are all sort of established, and they might need to bring a bit of that star power to start.
I don't think Noam Dar is going to go ahead and win the UK Championship.
No, I don't think he is. But
I think he's a great.
Again, it's a name.
He's incredible. I mean, a guy like Noam Dar could do incredibly well on that brand. You know, and then like tag teams, like I'm just pulling things up. But there's so many good UK tag teams.
Well, even if there was to bring across, I know Orny Logan is not a British, but Danny Burch is.
And he would be much more popular. You know, I mean,
they put on an amazing match at the last takeover.
Anyone that goes against Undisputed Era right now, and we saw that at the tournament, anyone that goes up against them is going to be the heel. Like, you know what I mean? Like people are in love.
I think Moustache Mountain did a really good job.
No, well, we're talking about fair enough. I'm talking about Adam Cole.
Right.
I'm talking about I'm talking about
with Wolfgang, that was interesting, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah.
Chanting from the audience: if you hate Gibson, stand up. British audience, man.
And also, if you hate Gibson, sit down.
Yes, and later on we'll go into the best, so stay tuned for the best chant of the weekend, I think. It was towards the end, it was great, man. It's like being at a football match, and we've got a great history of football in the UK, or soccer to you American dudes. You Scouse, something, chant starts, you know.
Yes.
It's sort of ingrained in our
There was another one. And I apologise for the stereotype. I love people from Liverpool, but there was another one that was quite mean. It was same old Scouser, always stealing.
Yeah. Same old Scouser, always stealing. Yeah,
you know,
funny man.
Obviously, we don't have that stereotype, but
it's what people do in Britain at like football matches. You just insult the other.
I guess so.
And you know, it doesn't mean anything. It's just saying this is who I believe in. And we're going to offend you, and we're all going to have a laugh about it.
Classic heel anyway. You know, I mean, he'd be a great heel. I think on the main brand, obviously Pete Dunne, but we should probably get on with the whole pay-per-view because we've only got limited amount of time. But like in terms of obviously Pete Dunne, future world champion, but a guy like Zach Gibson could probably.
He'd do well. He's a good
on the main roster.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's great.
So anyway.
I mean, but I'm quite happy. I'm looking for. I want to see less and less people go to the main roster now because they always look at the revival, man. I mean, are they even on Superstars at the minute?
Yeah, no. And then also they had Authors of Pain. They went to main event for a bit, and then while they're doing, they were on main event for the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's just poor, man. So no, I don't. I'm not interested in seeing them over. I want to see them wrestle,
and that's why I can understand why guys like Zack Sabre Jr.
are interested.
Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, they're
doing their own thing.
I'm thinking, how great would it be to see Kenny Omega on WWE TV? But look at how popular Just on a side note, when we'll get back, look how popular Woken Matt Hardy gimmick was, or Broken Matt Hardy gimmick was. Doesn't matter how huge you are.
No.
In somewhere else.
It doesn't
you could be
always work in
straight to
WWE.
mid-card. It's funny because Jeff Hardy, he's doing it now.
Yeah,
he's
how
super
that's gonna
popular.
be.
Like
Yeah,
he's doing. But anyway, so yeah. Anyhow, so Kenny Omega mid-card feuding with doing. Can you imagine doing matches, doing match cards with bloody Zack Ryder on God damn it! Can you imagine?
No. Exactly. So wrestling is a great thing. We don't have to be loyal to one brand or another. We can just watch these guys do incredible things. That's happening in America is now being shown.
There was a period where that was the case, and now we're back to WCW, ECW, WWE. We're getting back to that. It's just that not all the promotions are in the US.
Absolutely,
which
and
is
that's
great.
exciting, especially with the New Japan. Wrestle Kingdom. I always watch Wrestle Kingdom because I know that it's going to be a hell of a show. So yeah, back into the match. So we've got Gallagher and Gibson. The two are really great in the ring together, as Gallagher's using his manoeuvres to try and get into the head of Gibson, but Gibson's hard-hitting British style leads to some really nice Irish whips. Gallagher throwing himself into them, really metallic sounding, man. Yeah. A code breaker from the second rope from Gibson looks really rough. Great. He did it a few times within the tournament. I think he did it in the last match.
Tombstone code breaker looked amazing.
Yeah, man. It looks awesome. I really like Gallagher's in-ring style. Yeah. It's fun, but it feels hard-hitting at the right times.
Those drop kicks, man. He's got the best. One of the best drop kicks in the whole industry, man.
Great, really good. I don't know. I really like Daniel Bryan's drop kicks, but that's fair enough. You could see my biggest problem with Gallagher is you can actually see hand marks all over his body because he's so pale, right? When he's to slap the legs to make the kick sound, right? You can actually see his handprint because he's hitting it. I mean, it's not a problem. It's maybe you should put him in white makeup. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how you resolve
I'll put him in some long because he had some long pants for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I wish he sort of did some pinstripe trousers or something. It'd be really good for Gallagher. I think instead of the pants. Another reverse code breaker. I think the commentators were calling it a lung blower. It looks really good, man.
Yeah, it was. It was a reverse
really
lung blower or something.
Gallagher quickly tamps out to the Shankly Gate,
which I think is it looks weak. I like it.
I'm not a massive fan, and I hate the name.
Yeah,
but it don't matter.
Not because we hate Liverpool or its history.
No, man.
Which is obviously
Shankly Gates is named after a Liverpool
like the
football
Ticket to
stadium.
Ride. I do like the Ticket to Ride reference and finisher. A tombstone code break or a knee drop, whatever. It looks amazing, man. I was down with that.
Well, I'm just not a fan of the name. I think the submission is a little weak, but it doesn't really matter because they build it up in the correct way.
Yeah.
And so by the time we get to the end of this sort of pay-per-view, the Shankly Gate means something, and we all know that
and when it's
that's
coming,
going to be a devastating move.
Yeah.
And so, whether it was weak or strong, they built it up in the right way. Yeah. And that's what all wrestling is. A sharpshooter probably doesn't hurt that much unless you really sit on someone. Have you?
And it doesn't hurt as much as you think, but it still hurts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Particularly on the lower back.
But look at a torture rack. That ain't going to hurt that. Look, there's moves, all right, there's good hurt.
Shoulders.
All right, a cripple crossface. Right, if I hold your head back.
But it depends how far you pull.
But I'm not going to pull because I don't actually want to hurt you.
Well, no, obviously it's not going to hurt.
That's the point.
It's not going to hurt. But if you rest me on your shoulders, in a backbreaker, then I might struggle with it.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Anyway. Gallagher quickly taps out to it. Mauro Ranello, he's punched his ticket to ride to the semi-finals.
Yeah. Which is the name of his finisher, but also a signature. His signature, but also
the Beatles. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Beatles.
That's what they
from Liverpool.
That's what they called that tombstone knee drop thing.
Cool.
Ticket to Ride.
Really nice to give Gibson the rub early on. Next match, Joe Coffey versus Dave Mastiff. A video package of the two showing a lot of footage from Progress. Obviously,
the two hosses.
Oh man, these are two big guys. And it was a good hoss fight.
Yeah, man. It was. They're both really talented, and it was
really
nice.
Agile.
Nice that they set up because I wasn't sure what they do with Joe Coffey after this. Even though he went through, I think Mastiff is too good to pass up.
Yes. I think the reason they went with Coffey is because of the brother
thing. Well, as I was about to say. I was about to say they're going to do that, aren't they now?
Yeah, which is fine.
Future NXT UK Tag Champions, probably.
Probably. Joe Coffey comes out to some really generic music. They really need to sort out the music for these guys because a lot of it was really poor.
With exception to
Flash Morgan Webster. Yeah, everything else was just really way too generic, man.
I liked Kiwi Buzzsaw. I liked Travis Banks' one.
Did you? It was all right. It was all right. Yeah, no, these two especially, like, just such weak music that looked like they'd got it free from a free YouTube, something like that. Both of the lads are really big, but they're both
really big lads.
Really big lads, but they're both wearing knickers.
Right? Oh yeah.
They're both it's pants. It's
wrestling
trunks.
I actually I didn't like it with Coffey. I actually thought it was all right with Mastiff just because it
really shows off.
It just shows how big he was.
I just think it needs a little more, like a bit like Killian Dane has that sort of waistband at the top type thing with does he have tassels or something?
Yeah, tassels.
It's trunks, but it's with a little bit more, and I think it probably needs that. My concern is that it turns into that old style wrestling, big men. Giant hairstyles. So maybe that's good. Maybe it's bad. I'm not a fan.
I know. Mastiff normally has singlet. He normally has a singlet.
That's exactly what I'd say. Singlets, man.
And Coffey. Yeah, and Coffey probably needs it too.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so. Yeah. Two big lads, both in the ring, both collide into the ring, but they're unable to move each other.
Yeah, I like the clothesline, and then they bounce off, and that's cool.
And then they eventually go for like a crossbody, but both like collide in the ring in like a massive thud of flesh. It's gory and brilliant.
Yeah,
really good work. Some really nice sentons in the match and stuff like that.
Like
from standing
the deadlift kind of, they did some belly to bellies and deadlifts.
A lot of belly to bellies and German suplexes. Like how do you German suplex a dude
someone
that size?
Deadlift? Was it Mastiff? And he deadlifted him.
I think it was.
He deadlifted him from the ground.
I know.
And I love stuff like that, man. I mean, bloody hell, that's
amazing, great job. The suplexes and belly to bellies are massive. I've already said that. Coffey did a springboard move off the turnbuckle for the win. Really, man, that is impressive for a dude that size. And Coffey gets the win.
It was the clothesline. He had the roundhouse clothesline. That was his finisher.
Yes.
For that.
There was a springboard at some point. Anyway,
there was a springboard at some point.
Fine. I sort of expected Mastiff to win this actually, just because of his impressive sort of stature.
Yeah.
But like you, I think we're going with a Brothers Coffey angle. So
and I believe there is a place for Mastiff potentially on NXT, but more likely NXT UK, obviously.
Yes.
I think a guy like Mastiff will probably go over anybody else, aside from
a champion.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You need
else.
that guy.
It's
you
weird.
need a monster.
It's weird, but like a guy like Mastiff, I'd take it over any other guy in this tournament. Except for the guy that won it, to go on to NXT.
Right, okay. As opposed to NXT UK. Cool, interesting. Next up, we get an interview with Kathy Kelly, who interviews Joe Coffey. I have a problem. Why was we using Kathy Kelly as an interviewer? Why didn't we have a British interviewer, man? I mean, there's people that can do it.
Was there American referees as well? I think there were American referees. I was
there was a lot of familiar faces. I don't know exactly.
I was listening to them. And
there was the normal guys.
I know there was a UK announcer. There was a UK main announcer, the guy that was announcing the matches and stuff. He was from the UK.
Sometimes there was also a American as well, and I just sort of wish that they'd sort of branded it a little bit more British. Like we don't, we can get a British referee. We have British referees in the UK.
Yeah.
They don't know the WWE way, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's probably the
let's see some British. Let's have a really British brand. If that's what we're gonna do. Next match was Flash Morgan Webster, the mod father, who I think we both are a big fan of, versus Jordan Devlin,
who may as well be Finn Balor Mark II in every.
To run away from that,
my God, it's literally the same. Like, looks the same, he acts the same.
Yeah,
he has the same sort of moveset. Like, he
was trained by Finn Balor, but the problem is, if they continue down that role, all he's going to be is a bad imitation of Finn Balor.
Yeah,
and nobody will be interested.
Yeah, and I mean, I just wasn't.
I just think let him do his own thing, Obviously, he's Irish as well, which Finn Balor is as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was just a massive fan of Flash in this match. I thought he did really well. Devlin had a good move. There were some good moves. Obviously, the Avalanche Spanish Fly that he does, where
really
he flips
nice,
him.
man.
That was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, too much Finn Balor, too much ripping off already tried and tested things, even moves.
I think this is the best showing for Morgan, actually. I was watching his video because all the download videos are on YouTube, and he had a really good fight with a guy at Download as well. There's a video at the beginning of Webster fighting Nathan Cruz. Nathan Cruz is another British wrestler. I believe he's from either Hull or the surrounding area.
I think he's from
Might
Hull.
be Beverley.
Let me check. Let me check on that because I was convinced he's from Hull.
He's appeared in the NXT as well as a fighter in the past, and I think he was fighting Elias or someone like that. I was quite surprised that he wasn't a part of the tournament.
Hull. Yeah, he is from Hull. He's billed from Hull. And he's actually born here. Yeah.
Nathan Cruz. He's an excellent wrestler, man. He wrestles with NGW, and I was gutted not to see him, if I'm honest.
Dark match on SmackDown.
Yeah.
To face the Usos, and also Elias. Yep.
Yeah, Elias. Yeah. So. Yeah, Webster feels a really great character already. He's moving around the ring like a 90s indie kid with his parka, thinking that he's harder than it is. It's great. All he needs is like a lollipop in his mouth or something like that. But
the mod thing was.
It feels great. It feels like a well-developed character already.
And he's got the badges. Like he had like an Arctic Monkeys patch and all that stuff. So,
and it doesn't feel too gimmicky.
No.
It feels
like it's
real
just something
enough.
he loves.
Yeah.
Which is good.
The two went really well. Yeah, they need to distance Devlin from Balor, but we've talked about that. A nice match, two flying around the ring, playing to the audience with 3 suicide dives from Webster. Nice to see that sort of repetition, which comes later
back, which
is
back,
clever. But we'll go into that when we get into it. Devlin does an amazing move off the top rope. Looks like a suplex where he flips over in the Avalanche Spanish Fly. Looked incredible, man. I just don't think the Avalanche Spanish Fly really describes it very well. Webster gets the pin with a modified Hurricanrana where he sort of turns it into a crossbody type thing. Really good match. Again, solid.
Yep.
Lots of solid matches here. Next match, Travis Banks from New Zealand versus Ashton Smith.
Yep.
Travis Banks beat El Ligero to get through to here. El Ligero's great, man.
Yeah, man. Leeds.
El Ligero's is really good.
Leeds.
I've seen him a few times. He's super talented. And also,
I wonder why they dropped the L.
Ashton Smith. I don't know, man.
What made him drop the L?
I don't know.
Anyway. From Manchester, Ashton Smith, I'm not really... not a great character. He doesn't really have a character.
Ashton Smith beat Joseph Connors to get into the tournament, and Joseph Connors was in last year's tournament. He's done a lot of work with the WWE in terms of like house shows and stuff recently, and I really like him. When you see his character work, he can get really dark. Yeah, he's really cool, man. If WWE give him the time to do his character work, he'd be a really interesting character. Really,
maybe that's for the NXT UK brand,
Fingers crossed, man. But I also would have liked to have seen him in this tournament as a returning member.
I would have liked to see Ligero, but
exactly, yeah. So it was.
There's guys in the but then it's based on opinion, of course.
Absolutely. Everything is.
Yeah.
I would have preferred El Ligero to Travis Banks as well because.
New
Zealand.
I like exactly. UK. That kind of bothers me, but all in terms of his inclusion. But at the same time, I liked his tenacity and his resilience. I thought that was good.
You was right in the ring. He had some really good
his good moves and then his right, all that stuff. You don't seem too much.
I just wasn't as keen on his matches. I don't know all the way through the tournament. I thought they lacked a little bit.
He had this ferocious kind of vibe during the ring, which is good. Like we said, some of his moves, like Fisherman Buster, looked amazing.
Really
screaming
impressive.
the whole time, like he was trying to intimidate, which I would have been intimidated by that if I was his ring opponent. I like that.
But was you as excited as the match?
And they also came Travis Banks, and they said he'd slept in a train carriage for was it like a month or 3 months or 6 months or something? And I was just like, dude, if the guy slept in a train carriage for 6 months of his life or beyond that, fair play to him, but jeez, bloody hell. Why bring that up on TV? It just seems a little a bit dramatised, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it was. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Did he sleep in a train carriage? Not that I'm saying he hasn't had a rough time of it, but
I know that. But also,
on his own in a train carriage.
I know that he's more than capable. I've seen Travis Banks matches where he's done really well. just none of these felt great for me.
Yeah,
you know.
this
but
match
then
was...
the rest of the pay-per-view was so incredible. So maybe that's what's sort of...
It was a sleeper match.
It. Yeah.
Got a sleeper match.
Diving leg lariat. There was a couple of really telegraphed moves actually early on, even from Banks, and there was another kick from the turnbuckle later on, which Smith really awkwardly like spun into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't as keen on this match. Maro starts comparing Banks to greats from New Zealand, like the Bushwhackers. Mm-hmm. Come on, man.
Well,
we don't compare. Well, I don't know if he was better if you was to compare him to the Sheepherders. But Bushwhackers WWE even. You don't compare him.
In terms of in the ring, though, as an in-ring competitor, he was pretty.
Was he as great as the Bushwhackers?
Well,
what I'm saying is the Bushwhackers weren't great.
Yeah, but like a legacy, you know, like obviously you haven't seen Travis Banks for as long as you've seen the Bushwhackers.
No, but Travis Banks is better than the Bushwhackers. That's what I'm saying. Like to compare him to other greats like the Bushwhackers, like you know, the Bushwhackers in the WWE history wasn't that great. If you go back and watch a bit further with the Sheepherders, as I always say, they're great, man. Like barbed wire matches and stuff like that. But no, not the Bushwhackers. Anyway. Moving on, next up we have a female match. We have Toni Storm versus Killer Kelly versus... Was it Isla Dawn? Isla
Dawn. Yeah,
and the winner will be facing Shayna Baszler on the next night.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toni Storm comes out looking like the hottest member of Motley Crue. Awesome. She
looks good. Yeah, she should be.
She looks good.
She should be. No, in the ring.
And she's wonderful in the ring.
Anthony.
What, man?
You can't, Anthony.
I'm a hot-blooded male.
Anthony Naylor.
I'm a hot-blooded male.
I do apologise to our female viewers. Anthony can be a little bit, you know, Vince McMahon grapefruity sometimes.
No, not at all.
He's getting his grapefruit out. It's just a little bit inappropriate.
What I'm saying is she looks great.
In the ring.
Whole 80s man. She looks great. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She is visual candy for my eyes.
Yeah, but because of her in-ring work.
And also because she is stunning. It's okay to say a girl is stunning.
Well,
it's okay to say a man is stunning.
Well, yeah, it's alright to say
this is a review show, Dominic.
It's alright to say they're stunning, but we can't be like, oh yeah, candy for the eyes.
But I didn't say like, oh yeah, I'd give her one. I didn't go like that. I said she is a beautiful girl.
Who is an excellent in-ring performer and deserves to be probably in NXT, as in the main NXT. I think.
Oh yeah, she should be. Man.
She should be. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. And she 100%. Had a really good showing against Baszler the next night.
But we'll go into that when we get into it.
But yeah, I think
also another stunning one. I just want to talk about looks for like 1 minute. Just shut up about wrestling and let me talk about looks. Isla Dawn.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
She looks like that bird from True Blood. Do you know the ginger? The female. What do you want?
She does look like the lady from the lady from.
Right, so if I was to say he looks like that dude, would you go, oh no?
No, but
why?
The lady? Oh, you don't say bird because that's like saying that. What would you call them? The male. The male bird, the one that's...
The male bird? What, Big Bird? Right, Isla Dawn looks very nice.
She looks very nice and she does look like the lady from True Blood, yes.
Thank you.
She's very aesthetically pleasing.
Very aesthetic. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, how do you flirt with girls? Like, how do you ever have a girlfriend? How does your girlfriend accept you? Did you say, oh yes, my... lady? What do you call your girlfriend?
My partner.
Your partner, all right, cool.
It's not necessarily politically correct to say girlfriend these days. Anyway.
Right.
Anyway, Isla Dawn, yeah, she's great. I don't really think that she's a main eventer. I think like she's mid-card NXT UK.
Maybe.
I don't think maybe a UK women's champion. She just needs
time, man.
She's not Toni Storm. You could jump her up to NXT right now and she'd do all right.
100%.
It's in like main level.
Yeah, but she's
NXT.
incredible. She was incredible in Mania Classic.
Yes.
I wanted her to win.
Yes.
She's gorgeous. So Isla is Isla. I've got to get a name right.
Yes, Isla Dawn.
Isla Dawn is wonderful and from Scotland. Yay! Now,
Yay.
I was a little bit disappointed in the fact that, like, Tony Storm is incredible. I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't have more of a UK showing from
Portuguese,
the females.
Killer Kelly as
Killer
well.
Kelly's from
Again,
Portugal.
good performance. Like,
but you've got, like, great female wrestlers. Kaylee Ray from the UK, the worked with on the
you'll know a lot. Yeah, because obviously with you being knowing about GFW. There's probably some good NGW, so GFW.
Oh,
There's GFW is one, right?
If I can't call a girl a bird, you can't get a wrestling promotion.
Well, I bet GFW is a thing.
It probably is. Nixon Newall is another great one. Viper is another really good one.
No, Global Force Wrestling. Yeah. Thank you. Jeff Jarrett, I'll take your money now.
So did you name a US brand of wrestling when I was talking
yes,
about... Yes,
but did you notice that the second day of events here was branded as NXT, but not it was the NXT UK Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. So, cross-brand confusion can happen anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
I just think they should have had more of a showing from UK females.
Yes.
Yeah, the match, there wasn't much to the match. Killer Kelly does a really devastating looking drop kick to Isla Dawn, who was in the corner. The head, man, proper snapback there. It's a bit sort of sloppy, really.
There was a soccer kick as well on the ring apron. You know, she runs up and does that. That was all right, but it looked harsh.
Tony Storm stayed out of the match a lot of the way and sort of let these two go at it, probably to not get hurt because he couldn't risk Tony Storm getting hurt. Yeah. And Tony Storm gets a Storm Zero, which is a brilliant looking move to win on Isla Dawn.
Yeah, it's great.
Isla looked like she'd been through it by the end of the match, man. Please don't get hurt. We really appreciate your work on the Gimme Wrestling podcast. Next up, we have Triple H, who comes down to address the audience.
Okay, just quickly, because...
Oh, God, here we go.
Just quickly. No. I'm just saying, of the three, I agree that Tony Storm was there. I believe that the most work should be done by... I think Killer Kelly's a good performer.
She's okay.
She's got some more work to do. And also, change the name. Killer Kelly's a terrible name.
Oh, yeah, man, I agree.
You know, I don't know what...
Not with that character. No, if you're actually going to give her a sort of Nikki Cross character, that'd be fine. But I don't necessarily think we need that. Maybe we do need it in the NXT UK. I don't know, man. So Triple H comes down to address the crowd and gets an amazing reaction. He talks about the amazing...
Bow down, and everyone's bowing down.
Yeah, man, the crowd are proper loving it. It's nice for the British crowd to
probably loving that.
See Triple H. He talks about the amazing work done by British wrestlers that we've done over the last year. That British wrestlers have done over the last year. He introduces Johnny Saint. Johnny Saint is the new general manager of the NXT
general manager. Yeah.
He also announces here that there's going to be a women's division and a tag team division. Pretty exciting. Who is Johnny Saint?
Yeah, where's he from?
Johnny Saint. I don't know exactly where he's from.
I'm about to find out because it sounds stupid. Sounds
northern, yeah.
From Blackpool, so Failsworth. He's originally from. He's Bill from Blackpool. So Oldham, Manchester.
Cool. He was a wrestler who was on World of Sport that we talked about at the beginning of the podcast, if you're still with us. And he was a household name in British wrestling in the 70s. Again, this show was shown on a Saturday when people... Yeah. This is when TV channels were going off at like 8 o'clock on the night. Not many people had TVs. They would get around and watch Johnny Saint farting on giant haystacks. That was entertainment to my grandparents and your grandparents. Yeah, wrestling. Yeah, so why have they got Johnny Saint?
It depends, was he a heel or a face? Because we know the face dynamics.
I think he was a face.
I was going to say, because if he was a heel, he'd have been, tripped out, fired.
Yeah, I think it was slightly different then anyway. I don't think the stories were as in-depth as they are now. But then that's probably sometimes a better thing as well, because we do get some rubbish stories.
I mean, when I was looking back at the other day, it probably wasn't Shockmaster levels of ridiculous, was it?
No, probably not. So why choose Johnny Saint to be the general manager? First of all, I think he's weak in promos, is what I'd say.
Yeah, it's nice to see a guy from the north, just because of where we are geographically, so prominent. There were better people.
I think they've got him for a really important reason.
Because of
World of Sport. Yeah. Because he's got the link to World of Sport. He's one of the guys that's still alive, because a lot of them are dead. He's an old guy.
He's in his 70s, isn't he? 75?
He was born in 1940, I think.
75, something like that. He's taking the job, and there was a big uproar about that being a thing.
Right.
I hate ageism in any form.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have no problem with him doing it.
It was a big thing in the online wrestling community. He's 76.
Wow.
76 years of age.
No, my concern with him is that I don't think he can do a promo just yet.
Well, perhaps they're going to introduce him and keep him there for a few months, 6 months,
and then move on.
You know, there are guys like Bad News Barrett. There are guys like, you know, there are other guys that could have... not William Regal, because he's brilliant on...
but he could bring him across... Right, okay, here we go, right?
I love Regal because...
All right, get rid of Regal as NXT general manager, put in Shawn Michaels.
Okay, yeah, but he's the last great prominent British...
Then put him on the British brand.
He's the last great prominent English, but in an American audience, it's sad to see that happen.
Obviously, yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, it'd be sad to see that happen, wouldn't it? You know?
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
William Regal's a prominent face in the WWE,
and he's done so much work.
He's from England, and he is a prominent face on NXT. Or he's been ill recently, but you're right. It would make good business decision, especially as William Regal probably is getting to the age where he might want to retire. Perhaps he wants to come back, but
who knows?
Who knows? You know, but like. I would have had, you know, I'd pick somebody else. But yeah, Shawn Michaels, I mean, maybe they are doing that. Why is Shawn Michaels, why is Christian there? I mean, it was great that Christian,
interesting,
you know,
man. That was really shocked me,
there were plenty of people. Perhaps you're preempting a WWE move.
Or even put, you know, let's change it up. Let's put Shawn Michaels on as a general manager. The reason I put Johnny Saint, I think, is to delegitimize the historical relevance of World of Sport. So they haven't got this guy, so we're the guys that are carrying on the British wrestling scene, is what they've got him for. In 2016, he was also doing 6 months work in the Performance Center, so he has worked in WWE. He didn't wrestle in America until like 2009, or something like that. He was very much he had his very specific ways. So I think it's going to be interesting to see. Anyway, next up we had the Modfather, Flash Morgan Webster. I think they need to get rid of the Flash. Morgan Webster's more than fine.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, I like I love his thing.
I just think the Flash.
I quite like it, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah. Versus Zach Gibson. Mauro mentions the Beatles again as Gibson's coming out. He loves it.
We did cover the whole, they've announced NXT UK and all that stuff, and the tag team and all that. Yeah, so it's cool.
That's exciting.
Yep, it is very exciting.
Yeah, we're getting a full brand. Let's make sure we get a lot of, especially female UK wrestlers.
And let's make it...
We'll talk about female
Let's
UK
make it not a repetition of what they've done with 205 Live, please.
Please.
Oh, there you go. That's what I would do. I'd put bloody Rockstar Spud in the UK.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
why not?
I don't... that's where he can be, and that's where he can do a decent job.
And make me happy. Again, chance of hate. If you hate Gibson, stand up. He starts playing to the crowd, and it's really great. It's something that British wrestlers are really good at because they work in these indie scenes all the time. Yeah, they're working with crowds and they know how to work them. Yeah. And Gibson does a really great job at that, of building up heat.
He's waving, he's wagging at them, and he's shaking his head and all this stuff. And
Cesaro's great at that on the main roster as well. Yeah. You know, I think British European wrestlers seem to be really good at that. A really nasty suplex from Gibson on the ramp leaves Morgan out on the floor.
Was that after he catches him, right? Was that after the brain buster? It was they did a suplex and then he did a brain buster, right?
He did, that's right. The crowd start chanting "Mamma Mia," which is just them having a good laugh with
Mauro. Yeah.
Mauro. Gibson gets Webster to tap out. Yeah, it's a bit out of nowhere, the Shankly Gate, and we're building up the Shankly Gate all the way through. Yeah, I get that. I thought it was a bit of a quick match for Morgan, but then I also sort of respect that we need to move on as well. Yeah, there's
also. Did you notice, which was nice, the only time, just because he's a consummate heel, and I do genuinely feel like he could have a place on the main roster as a heel. You notice that Gibson's the only time he shook anybody's hand was to shake. He shook Flash Morgan Webster's.
I didn't notice.
But he did it like this. He was like. You know, proper like that. You know what I mean? Like proving dominance. You know what I mean? Cool. Not that I'm trying to prove my dominance.
You are.
But you know what I mean?
Say my safe word. Say my safe word. Pineapple. I don't know where that comes from.
Is that an actual thing?
Problem for some people, yes.
No, wait. Well, I know it's a thing for some people.
No, I don't have a safe word.
Do you guys have a safe word? Just out of curiosity, let's open up the discussion.
What's your safe word?
Let's open up the discussion. I don't need one, mate.
I don't need one, mate.
I
don't need one.
I just do.
You just stop.
No respect. Not. Yeah. I'm just like. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll just. The most extreme I get is having a donut in the bedroom.
Dude, that's so wrong. Is it like a holy donut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't put it on.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was going. I just eat it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Where'd you put it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't put it anywhere. You're the one that takes you.
I'm just saying, like, I don't need it. I don't need it for work.
I don't need no apple pie.
I'd never get to that point. I'd just be eating my donut.
Right, let's move the conversation on and talk about something educational.
Yeah,
let's talk about organs. Did you see that massive organ in the Royal Albert Hall?
Yes, I did.
That is the second largest concert organ in the UK. Do you know where the first largest is? It's in Liverpool. And the third largest is in Hull, at the Hull City Hall. The third largest organ in the UK,
so
where I have worked.
You get to see that.
Yeah, but I've often used as a chat of line. Would you like to see the third largest organ in the UK? I'm so smooth, man. I'm so smooth.
Well, you're better than me because I'm just like,
oh,
hello,
dude. Hello,
my lady.
Would you mind terribly if we made love this evening?
It's actually not too far from.
I bet it's really not.
Sorry, love, would you mind? Would it be okay if we went to the bedroom? Think that'd be all right,
dude. Yeah, it's not necessarily the largest. So there's a distinction between concert organs and church organs. This is wrestling and facts for you dudes. This is what you get from listening to the Gimme podcast.
And females. That we're
just dudes, man. Dudes can be anything.
I know. I say dude and man all the time.
Exactly.
I'm just being.
Just be careful.
Just pedantic.
Exactly. Next up, we have Travis Banks versus Joe Coffey.
We also have Flash to Ricochet and Aleister Black previewing their match tomorrow. They're looking super smart, or at least Aleister Black is looking super smart. Aleister Black makes me want to wear suits, man. He looks smart as hell, doesn't he?
I wish he never wore a suit.
Really?
Yeah, and I wish he never talked. I don't like his talk. I don't like his promos.
You're jealous of his beard and his haircut.
No, I'm not.
Shut
his
up.
beard is
You
weak.
try to be all Aleister Black with
no,
your
I'm
little,
not, man.
with your little undercut and your beard. You think you're Aleister Black? You're gonna give me that fade to black.
AJ Styles, Soccer Mom.
Actually no, but that would be an amazing match. Yeah. I think Aleister Black is a solid favourite one. But anyway, so I think Aleister Black looks great in a suit. Ricochet looks cool as well.
Yes,
they flashed him.
He wears a suit, what?
Ricochet.
Yeah,
I'm not saying. I think he was wearing a chain and a like a turtleneck.
I clearly wasn't watching this.
Turtleneck and chain. He was wearing.
Was it awesome?
Black
turtlenecks. Are we in the 90s again? Turtlenecks like a thing.
I'd love to go back to the 90s, man.
Could you get away with wearing a turtleneck?
No,
I don't think you could. I don't think I could either.
No.
Next
actually,
up,
you could probably pull it off more than me.
Probably.
You look a bit like Frank Zappa.
Travis Banks versus Joe Coffey. Not a big fan of the match again. It feels quite slow compared
Travis
to the rest
Banks'
of the tournament.
aggression appeals to me, because he's like, right, and I love that. I think there's only place for one or two people to do it, obviously. Yeah. But his aggression makes him a standout character.
The match didn't feel great. There was a lot of chops at the start.
Very popular. He's been very popular in Ring of Honor, and I can understand that. There's a great moment where Coffey. There's this giant swing type thing into the butterfly suplex, which was great. That was really well done. And again, I'm not really just like you. I'm not really interested in either of these guys as characters, particularly. The best thing about Banks to me is his shouting gimmick and the whole aggression. The battering ram spear from Coffey was good. It wasn't a conventional spear, and I love a good spear, but I'm sick of the overuse of the spear. It wasn't a spear as in like, it was more of a,
Yeah,
so that was really interesting. When he just headbutt, it was like a full on, like a shark.
Like a lot of this that was great about the NXT UK weekend was that it felt real. There was a lot of really good, especially the Undisputed Era 6-man tag match, which I can't wait.
That springboard diving crossbody was good too. Again, Coffey. I think Coffey outshined Banks. But I'm not dismissing Banks as a performer. There's a lot of people on this podcast that will disagree with us, and obviously, of course, we welcome that. I understand Banks' appeal in terms of, you know, the workhorse type of wrestler and the guy that works out. He could probably do all right in NXT. Maybe Triple H is a Travis Banks fan. Wouldn't surprise me if he was. He's a workhorse, and he's hard, a bit like that type of Daniel Bryan-esque character, where he could do well. I think he needs a better gimmick. I understand why he won here.
Do you know the exhausted segment that they did? They did like a real exhausted segment during the match. Like, I didn't feel like
where they were just like, you know,
but they hadn't earned it, and that's sort of a problem. In a small space of time, like, you can't do that, and then it didn't feel natural. I
liked some of the build up to it. I mean, I also feel like there's another overused move in WWE, and Coffey needs a new finisher because of it.
The springboard crossbody.
No, because that's not his actual finisher.
Oh, right.
It's his signature. The signature is the spinning clothesline.
The lariat type thing.
Now, I think Harper uses that. Somebody else. There's a lot of people who use that, and it's difficult to make it look credible unless every single opponent flips like 6 times.
Yeah, which ain't always going to happen.
You know, if you're going to make a clothesline, not that I like to reference JBL.
He did a good clothesline.
Yeah, he did a good run. You got to run up to it. You know, it's got to be a clothesline from hell type thing.
So Coffey ends up missing the crossbody. Banks ends up with a win for the roll-up after a little bit more action. Yeah, I didn't rate it as much as you clearly did, but that's fine. We were all allowed difference of opinions.
Yeah, of course.
After the match, Coffey attacks Banks. We get a heel turn. Good to see a bit of storyline coming through, building up for this awesome brand, which I can't wait to see. Then Coffey poses in the ring. Next match, we have...
It was the next night his brother came down, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Next match is Tyler Bate versus Trent Seven and Pete Dunne, which is a British strong style.
So
and the three look amazing.
So Tyler
together.
Bate and Pete Dunne and Trent Seven.
That's correct. Versus the Undisputed Era, which is obviously Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole, because Bobby Fish is still injured, unfortunately. Pete Dunne, man, he's become a face. I don't know how, because he looks... Out of every person, I didn't think he could ever be a face because of the way that he looks.
Yeah, I think he's done it in the same way Daniel Bryan did it and a few other people, where people he is too liked.
Good.
He's too liked for the... You know, they could... I mean, but then, I mean, there's only a few guys that can do that on the modern roster, and 2 of them are in this match. You have Pete Dunne, who is just...
Adam Cole.
And Adam Cole.
Yeah.
How, I don't know what they're going to do. I think they've already started selling Adam Cole baby T-shirts, haven't they? They've got Adam Cole baby T-shirts now.
Probably,
but
yeah.
I think he was wearing one. But Adam Cole is a natural heel.
Yes.
That people love so much that he's a face.
Unless he's against the right person. And that's what's so good about him. He can twist between face and heel. And the same with Pete Dunne, man.
Yeah.
And I think people just appreciate Pete Dunne's work so much.
And I think they appreciate Adam Cole's. I would say Peter Dunne is a better Pete Dunne is a better wrestler, but Adam Cole's work rate is exceptional.
Agree.
I must say, because I must say,
fine.
yeah, absolutely. Well, it's personal opinion, but I'm right. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know you are.
But I must say there are 3 guys in this match. I don't understand where you are with Roderick Strong.
Love him.
I know you do. But I was not a great fan of, and I'm still not sold on Trent Seven at all.
I like him.
But Kyle O'Reilly.
Great.
And I've gone blank here.
Adam Cole.
No. UK. No.
Trent Seven.
Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate.
You're not sold on Tyler Bate?
I wasn't, but I am now.
Oh, dude, look at last year's match where he was
I wasn't.
Pete Dunne, man.
I know we talked about this, but
amazing.
His character work. You know, he stopped.
I know what you mean.
He stopped doing that now, which is good.
Yeah.
All that was rubbish.
Cool. That was close. So yeah, I thought it looked good. I like Trent Seven. I think he brings a different class to it. He's a bigger guy. He's got the great mustache, and I think that's fine. Tyler Bate is still young, man. He's still so young, and he's so incredible for his age.
I like Trent Seven's.
You could have it all.
Like Trent Seven doing Nine Inch Nails covers. That'd be amazing. No, but I like the fact that Trent Seven was Tyler Bate's trainer was interesting.
Yeah. I think Trent Seven brings an interesting thing to the division. Actually,
I think he's trying to be the villain. He's trying to be. I don't know whether they're. I'm not sure he's ripping it off. It probably isn't. I think he predates him, but Bullet Club.
Marty Scurll.
Yeah, he's got a similar.
Yeah, okay. I can sort of see that.
I'm not sure who predates who, so feel free to correct me. But yeah.
Probably Trent Seven predates. I would imagine. Mauro Ranello as Pete Dunne is bending the fingers back. He says he's bending it like Beckham.
He's done that twice now. He's done that twice. I've seen him do. He did it on NXT as well. He did it on Takeover.
Did it, Mauro? Come on, man. Just back off with the pop culture reference a little bit.
You said you liked it.
I like some of them. I like the Liverpool stuff. I like it when it's relevant. But comparing Pete Dunne to
it's got
a really bad. It's not a bad film. It's a good film.
Yeah, but you also bent it.
Right, okay.
For his free kicks.
With his
free kicks. That was
who did?
Beckham.
You talking soccer?
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, I used to follow soccer quite a lot. I used to follow soccer.
Who did you support?
Manchester United at first.
I like Ian Rush.
From Liverpool.
Yeah, he had a cracking moustache.
I knew you were going to say that. Are you trying to emulate him with your...
No.
With your little...
No, but I liked Ian Rush. I used to have a sticker of Ian Rush from Panini that I put on my wardrobe.
You should do that. Why don't you try and get rid of this and have a little moustache?
It won't work.
Curl it.
It'll look awful.
Do that.
So the match is amazing, right? It's a really fast match.
Would you join Moustache Mountain?
I would join Moustache Mountain.
It's already doing it actually. Just quick, if I curl it enough.
Okay.
Just curl it from like that.
Like the Monopoly man.
There you go. Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. That looks all right. It looks better than it did just now.
Oh, fantastic!
Put some gel on it. You look cool.
One day you'll go through puberty and be able to grow a beard. It's a really fast match with a lot of action. You see, that's me cutting you off. Really fast. Good match. What?
What's this? What's this here?
What's this? Oh, well done. It's puberty.
You just said, I just proved you wrong because you were like, one day you'll go for puberty. I've already done it.
You've done it. Yeah. Oh, congratulations.
Suck it.
I need to buy you a card. It's a fast match with lots of awesome action. The British wrestlers show the development here. Like from last year, these guys have got so goddamn good. They're at the top of the UK division for a reason, aren't they? These three. They're absolutely insanely good.
Yeah.
And when they're working with a team like Undisputed Era, who are awesome as well, this match is like takeover worthy.
Yep.
It is so good.
I think they're invested in them on an NXT level because they've just filed for the trademark of British Strong Style.
Right, cool.
So I think these three have already been on NXT.
Yes.
But I think they will be a main fixture on main NXT for a good while.
Triple H versus Pete Dunne. Let's get it to happen before it's too old.
Triple H versus Pete Dunne, but with the support of British Strong Style, who
fend off Shawn Michaels and DX.
No, maybe not. But
you want about like a Sting Triple H,
like an old versus new. Maybe it's WWE, so maybe they'd do that. But I was thinking more like a Triple H and some hired goons he gets so stressed out with British Strong Style that he hires in.
Be amazing.
You know, back Evolution. You know what I mean? So he brings back Batista. And he brings.
I don't want too much of a story. I don't want Triple H to take over completely. So, a few highlights of the match: Pete Dunne flipping Adam Cole onto the top of Roderick Strong when he was down on the floor. Amazing. Bate suplexing Kyle O'Reilly onto Strong, who was in the corner. So many moments where it was not just two people; it was 3 or 4 people involved. It was a really nice
moment as well. One of my favourite moments of the match was when Tyler Bate, showing how strong he is, was grappling Roderick Strong, like holding him, and Roderick Strong was like, no, and he tagged in Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
And he was like, Roderick Strong was pooing himself, freaking out, and Tyler Bate's there, tiny little Tyler Bate.
Yeah. Both of them.
and they're just like...
It was a great move.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really cool.
Incredible. A couple of references to Demolition from the announcers at the start. That's weird, isn't it?
No, that was the Undisputed Era's finishers.
It is
Axe, which was Riley's little hook kick thing.
Yeah.
And then smashes the super kick from Cole? Strong,
I think. And then it's...
the knee. Was it a knee?
And then it's, we've nearly got a full demolition here. That's quite a good banner. Incredible lariats from Seven. I think he can really do a good clothesline.
There you go. It's the same move. It's the same thing.
Happening again.
The same thing happening again. Yeah. Now, I liked Seven's lariat better than the other ones.
Agreed.
But it's still the same thing.
It is. Bate ends up winning the match with a massive clothesline again. So, you're right there. But it felt rough. It felt scrappy. Mm-hmm. The match tonight after, there was some really nice points with that. I loved it, man. I thought this was a great match. Go watch it now.
There's a clothesline into Dragon Suplex, I think that was the finisher.
Yes.
That beat Undisputed Era. Mm-hmm. That didn't work on the next night, but it was really well done.
Yeah, exactly. It's telling that story.
That clothesline from, I think it was Seven's clothesline into Bates suplex or one of the other, but it was a clothesline into a
dragon. It was Bates who did the clothesline.
So Bates clothesline into Seven's dragon suplex. That was wicked, yeah.
Sorry, I can't remember.
But that was the finisher, and that was good.
Next up, it was a great match. Go watch it. We'll talk about whether it was our best match of the weekend. If you stay watching, we will get through this. I promise. At some point, we're just excited because Britain's doing some awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's good, man.
HBK comes out. Crowd get a chance to sing "Sexy Boy" for a while.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Song cuts out.
And he was like,
you just carry on singing.
He's still a catchy tune, you know. He was like, and then people were like, one more match, and he was like, I ain't happening, you know.
Yeah, he didn't really say how important. He just said the NXT brand is for you. It's especially for you. And thanks to UK fans and that sort of stuff.
It was a nice trip down because it was nice. He mentioned that he was the first guy to wrestle a match in the UK.
Was it Marty Jannetty?
In like 90.
It was before 94. We sort of know. It was well before then. I think it was 92.
Okay.
Or maybe 91.
Hang on, no, 91. There you go.
Thank you.
He was wrestled the first match for WWE in the UK in 1991.
There you go.
I think he's a great ambassador for the brand as well.
Yep.
And this is a bone of contention for me. I think if things had been different and Shawn Michaels would have ended up with Stephanie McMahon, that Shawn Michaels would have been a much more humble general manager than Triple H. That's my take on it. We're probably never going to get jobs with WWE because of this.
No chance that would ever happen. Shawn Michaels was
he's never going to end up with
bugger
but do you think he's more approachable? I think he's more approachable.
I think Triple H. He might be more approachable, but that's because he hasn't got everything on the line like Triple H does. Triple H has got money in shares in the company, and I think Triple H does a wonderful job anyway. So but it's an interesting conversation. What else was I gonna say? Let's go on to the next match. Travis Banks versus Zach Gibson. Banks is strapped up when he comes out. This is after the attack from Joe Kofi Kingston.
Did you notice that was it McGuinness? Oh no, it was Morrow. He kept saying, he kept making caffeine references.
Yes, he's called Joe Coffee.
Well, yeah, but it's not spelt the same. I just don't.
No, I know. It's going to get boring really quickly. Yeah. Just accept it's coffee and move on. But this is the first time, so I'm not that bored of it yet. Gibson refuses to shake the hands of Banks at the beginning. Gibson throws Banks into the steel steps for his injured left arm, and he continues to punish it.
He sells well. Does
he does? We should build this up a bit more. This is the final, and it's a really good match, actually.
Yeah, so. I think more. Obviously, Gibson didn't really have much to sell. Banks sells really well. I like his fight.
He does. This is definitely Banks' best match.
Yeah.
Banks get a pin attempt as Gibson is grabbing for the rope. Great in-ring presence to know that he couldn't reach it, so he kicked out at the last second. So good to see something like that happening instead of it ending up a botch that we'd watch for years to come. A beautiful moment where Banks is Irish whipped to the guardrail, but instead of slamming into it, he jumps on top and then jumps back and attacks Gibson.
He does this thing that Cody Rhodes does. It's Cody Rhodes' finisher. I can't remember what Cody Rhodes called it, but it's basically a springboard kick, roundhouse kick, and it's really
it was
well
great,
done.
man. It was
really well
so
done.
good.
He calls it something too, doesn't he? It's his finisher in the Indies. What does he call it? It's not a bad name. It's kind of cheesy.
Better
but
than
it's good.
Shankly Gates.
Yeah, it's better than Shankly Gates. I can't remember. I'll find out because it's going to bother me.
So the story of the match is all about Gibson's arm, basically. Gibson going for Banks' arm, basically. Gibson gets Banks into the Shankly Gates. We've seen this is a devastating move, but he manages to make it to the rope. Banks gets a really nasty cut to the eye at this point. Gibson tries to pin Banks with his feet on the rope, but gets caught. The crowd start chanting "Same old Scouser," always cheating.
Yeah, rage feet. Yeah.
Great, man. Lots of near falls towards the end of the match, and it certainly picks up towards the end of the match.
If you were bald,
yes,
you would look like. I've just farted. I'm very sorry. If you were bald, just bringing that up for everybody to see. Just as we're talking about terrible heel moves. Yeah, terrible heel moves in the podcast. You would look like Gibson if you were bald. You'd have the goatee, the obnoxious goatee that you stroke all the time, and you're like. Yeah.
If you was bald, you'd look like James Ellsworth.
What? I've got a chin.
Are
you kidding me? Are you really?
Really? Please let us know in the comments below if Dom has a chin. Lots of near falls towards the end of the match. You do have a really nice chin, man. But so's James Ellsworth. Lots of near falls towards the end of the match. Yeah, a really good match in the tournament. Really cracking match. I hadn't been massively impressed with Banks in the first 2 rounds, but this was actually really good. Are you covering your chin? I'm only joking. You're beautiful. You know that. You'd look more like Patrick Stewart.
I'll take that. Actually.
It is Patrick Stewart's
Patrick
pretty
Stewart's
hot.
amazing.
You can't say that he's hot. You've got to call him a gentleman. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello,
anyway.
Hello, Mr. Stewart. Would you like to watch the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling podcast? We talk about wrestling, and we think that one of us looks like you.
Gibson ends up with his Shankly Gates for the win.
Well, can we mention that he has to go through a couple of Shankly Gates? He's the first person to. I think it needs re-emphasising because they were trying to build up this finisher as this.
You was researching at the time I mentioned that, and that's why you missed it. I emphasised it really well.
Maybe I was focusing on
something else. Yeah,
my chins.
Something interesting. Go on.
My chins.
Yeah, he did. He pushed out too.
There you go. Sorry, the reason why I missed that was because this is important. Not really. Travis Banks' finisher is called the Slice of Heaven.
Thank you. They did mention that at one point in the night, actually. I didn't realise that was the name of the finisher, but that was cool. Yeah, after Gibson goes for the win, he goes for a handshake, but walks away before getting the handshake. What a heel, Dom. Everyone hates that Gibson. Yeah. What a great tournament. What a hell of a tournament.
One more pop culture reference, which we've missed. That devastating brain buster that Zach Gibson does outside to Flash and to Banks is called Helter Skelter, which is another Beatles reference.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that was a Beatles reference. I'm not a massive Beatles fan. I don't know all the references.
Well, there you go. So
very good, thank you.
Sorry, just thought I'd mention that.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Johnny Stank go to congratulate Gibson with a photo op, and then Pete Dunne comes down to square up against Gibson. That is the end of day one.
Do you think quickly?
Yep.
Which one of those would you give a contract to? Because I think both of them will have potential main roster, as in like main NXT.
Oh, contracts. Gibson easy.
But I think both of them will get one.
Yeah, whatever. I want impressed.
In the same way that Dunn and Bate did. Yeah. I think Banks, rightly or wrongly, given our opinion, we're just two people with an opinion, and I definitely Liverpool's number one.
Before we move on to day two, which we are going to do, are we going to do it in the same video? We might as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
People are going to watch
it. Take a breather.
Yeah. Cup of tea. Cup of tea,
which is gone. I've got a little bit left.
I've got dregs. A mention to one of our Gaylords who was there, Lee. Awesome dude that he was there. He shared a photo of himself in a rather swanky suit.
Nice. Grey
suit, all there on the WWE network, and it sounds like he had a great time. I really wish I'd gone to this event, man, after seeing it. It was incredibly good.
Yep.
We should have gone.
Yep.
Next time we're going.
Yep.
Day 2, Lee. Glad you had a great time, man. Woo!
Keep it gay.
Keep it gay. Day 2, Nigel McGuinness is sporting his blue Peter badge. That's when I noticed it.
Yep.
First match, Moustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era.
Whoa. We did talk about this in the first episode, which is still the same episode because we're doing the same video. Were you as confused about this as I? The whole NXT, it was branded, it had the NXT intro.
It did, yeah.
Like, what was that? Like that?
Because there was more there was more NXT there. The last night they'd only really had, you could argue with Toni Storm, but she's not really NXT. And the Undisputed Era. That was all that you really had.
And they mentioned, they had Aleister Black and thingy, but they weren't competing.
No, it was,
so okay.
That's
I'm
why.
with you.
I think it was also to sell the event instead of having it as just indie wrestlers fighting. We're gonna share a little bit and show that this is NXT, this is UK, but also install the NXT feeling into the brand because NXT has a certain feeling.
Yep.
And so we're going to integrate that straight in.
Feeling. Anyway.
Very good, Boston. Moustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era.
Boom. Yeah, it was good.
Really good.
First, they made a nice little reference to the first NXT Tag Team Champions, Neville and Oliver Grey, British Ambition. Obviously, Adrian Neville went on to great things before leaving. Maybe Neville comes back.
Oh, in the UK.
Maybe.
That'd be cool.
Oliver, probably not, because I know he's annoyed with the brand.
That could happen.
Oliver Grey, who was also kind of amazing. I wasn't watching NXT at the time, but so I wasn't too familiar with Oliver Grey's work, but he was the first ever, he is credited as the first ever NXT Tag Team Champion with Adrian Neville.
Thank you. A really hard-hitting match. The chops are loud, the kicks are delivered with force. Everyone got an opportunity to shine.
Double sent on by Moustache Mountain was great. Also, the normally cheesy and horrible, ridiculous bop and bang thing. I like it when they do it together.
Cool.
When they do it together, it's okay.
I like it anyway. I think it's good fun. I think you can have a bit of fun in wrestling. What do you think of Roderick Strong now? He's still not sold on him?
Nope.
Really?
Sorry. Don't like him.
Great. I think he's
I like Kyle O'Reilly. I think Kyle O'Reilly's amazing.
Kyle O'Reilly is great. I think Roderick Strong is awesome. But
there was a moment where Kyle O'Reilly's a great heel in terms of he does the guitar thing.
Do you
at the
respect
entrance.
Roderick Strong's work in the ring?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Cool. I think he's great. Really
I was genuinely good. I think they told a great story. I was genuinely good when Kyle O'Reilly pulls bait off the apron when he goes for the tag. So you nearly get the hot tag, and you think, and he pulls him off. Proper heel. Yeah. He's proper. He channels Hollywood Hulk Hogan all the time.
Yeah,
when he's doing it. I'm really. I was not before this match. I kind of thought he was boring, great, man. But he's a great worker.
Man, if you look at his promos when he's like walk, because it's always Adam Cole that cuts the promos. If you watch when he's like walking to the ring, there's a great one where he's walking back and they've just attacked someone. It was probably Authors of Pain, and William Regal's music starts playing and he comes up behind him and his face is like and it's so good, man. That's cracking. It's good fun. Tyler Bates delivers a massive German suplex to Roderick Strong whilst O'Reilly is on his back. Like, he had both of them.
He did double one, didn't he?
Wow. Yeah. So it was like a German suplex to Roderick. O'Reilly was on his back at the time, like trying to strangle him or something, and just flipped them both over.
If any people that are short and kind of like, well, he's not really gangly, but like, I tell you what, Tyler Bates is a good example of a human being. If you're a bit small, but good things come in small packages.
If you work it, man.
Tyler Bates, man. I mean, that's strength.
Good.
You don't always have to have the muscles and the 8-pack and whatever.
No, just like me, 1-pack. O'Reilly and Strong connect with each other. So there's a punch where Seven pushes them onto each other and they fall onto each other. Right. It's not hooky though.
No.
It feels really good. Really, there's some good spots in the Ricochet, the whole tag team that's coming up. It felt real. It didn't feel like
it's good.
I'm setting it up. Loved it.
It was nice. I mean, and Morrow's commentary in here is kind of gimmicky, but also he's like, "There's a malfunction in the junction." Yeah, and I love that. I think that's really funny. There's another malfunction in the junction. That was cool.
An epic move as Seven holds Strong in a reverse torture rack, and Bate delivers a knee to him from the top rope for the pin.
Yeah, that's nice. There was a good moment here. I think I mentioned it earlier.
Sorry.
Where the maneuver that won them the match yesterday didn't get the pin this time.
That's right.
It was the suplex and clothesline. Yeah. They didn't do that this time. It was good. It was nice.
So many
build.
near falls.
Another great move that I think is, was it Kyle O'Reilly's brainbuster's amazing. But the miscommunication between Strong and O'Reilly, maybe that leads to something later on down the line in a storyline, but that's what led to the end, and I thought that was really well done. What they do with Mustache Mountain now on main level, and I've just put something in my eye, do apologise. What they do now on main level NXT with Mustache Mountain is remain to be seen.
They're going to be feuding, man, and for me, we're going to get more Undisputed era matches with Mustache Mountain, and that is an awesome thing because this match is awesome. One thing I will say though, every Undisputed era match, there's a reason people love them, and that is because, did you see the last Takeover match with Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan? It was great. It was possibly the best match on the card, and it was Oney Lorcan. And not that I have anything against Oney Lorcan. These guys know how to put together a match and make everyone look incredible. And the other good thing is they're not repeating the same stuff all the time. No. They're mixing it up. It's really exciting wrestling, and I think that's why people are so excited about Undisputed Era. Mm-hmm. Justified. Next up, Johnny Saint announces a triple threat match for the next contender for the UK Championship with Mark Andrews due to his work last year.
Andrews, yeah.
Travis Banks and Flash Morgan Webster. Cool. Next match is Killer Kelly versus Charlie Morgan from Cambridge, England. This is sort of a chance for us to see what a British wrestler can do, which is awesome. Although it's a bit.
It's kind of weird.
It's a problem, and it sort of come after this incredible match, and that's not to say that this girl Charlie Morgan isn't going to be incredible, because I think they can be. I wanted to talk briefly about women's wrestling. In the UK, there's a lot of male wrestling. There is women's wrestling going on, but not every show that has it has a female's roster, or it's a lot less than the males. There's a lot less, right? Yeah. Which means they don't have the opportunities. I've heard stories of females going to work for companies, and they get there and they actually have no one for them to fight with, so they're just thrown in a manager's role. Yeah. And that's what's really exciting about NXT UK. Get us a full women's division and let these girls go.
Like I say, I think Charlie Morgan can fit into the NXT UK brand. I wasn't excited about character. Same with Killer Kelly. I believe she has a place on the NXT UK brand. There was some better performance notes from her tonight than last night.
Killer Kelly,
I preferred Killer Kelly tonight. Yeah. The Dragon Sleeper that she does, the bridging Dragon Sleeper where they're on the floor, both on the mat. Yeah, looks ferocious.
Yeah,
I think
there's some good moments. It's just a bit hokey getting into the spots at the minute, and they just need to work on that sort of the links between moves and stuff like that. A roll up gets Morgan the win.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll see more. I want to see more of Charlie Morgan, man. Let's see more, and let's see her develop.
I'm not sold on it, not sold on it yet, but like I say, there's every chance she'll develop.
Let's
in the same way that I wasn't sold on Tyler Bate until tonight, and I wasn't, so there you go. It's
incredible.
You can change. The Christian shows up.
Hello,
nice
Christian.
When people chant one more match.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's nice to see him at the event, though, supporting the UK lads. Yeah. Mark Andrews versus Travis Banks versus Flash Morgan Webster. Before the start of the match, Johnny Saint comes down, and God, he should have interjected himself in the match. 76-year-old in that match. Yeah. Awesome. But he didn't. He introduces a fourth man, Noam Dar.
He
didn't expect that, man.
Also, I expected it because I knew he was coming back.
Right.
But I've got a problem. It's sad to say, real problem with Johnny Saint's promo skills. The way
it's not great.
Like how Triple H comes out and he's like, we're gonna make this a fatal four-way, we're going to introduce Noam Dar, and it's a big deal. Yeah. And it looks good, and it brings in everybody pops in. You got Johnny Saint, he's like, what does he call it as well? He calls it a fatal, what was he calling it? He calls it a four-way fatal match, and
something like
stuff like that. And it's like, bless you. Bless you. But Noam Dar, who is probably one of the best heels, if not the best heel on 205 Live, or he was.
No, right, here we go. Can you imagine if instead of this had been Noam Dar, if it was Neville?
Well,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
That would have been cool.
That would have been amazing.
I mean, it's great there was no dark.
As a credible performer and challenger because I love Noam Dar and every one of these guys, but they're probably not credible performers and challengers for Pete Dunne.
Yes.
Neville.
Oh, he's
Neville is different.
He's 100%.
Like you can imagine Neville
just coming and taking it,
killing Pete Dunne.
Yeah, it'd be great.
God,
I hope we see that. I hope we see that.
No, man. There's a lot of stuff online saying he's never coming back. But whether he goes to World of Sport,
that'd be. There's a lot. We've talked too much about
guys like Wade Barrett and Neville could swing it for World of Sport at least.
Dude, there's a lot of people's contracts in the WWE that's coming up, and I think they're purposely not signing them for a reason. And I think that's for like a mass exodus of people. Because I think people like Daniel Bryan, we don't know the details, we don't know if he has, but the rumours are that he's not signed a contract.
Why would they let him go though? To World of Sport?
No. Daniel Bryan can go anywhere he wants.
Maybe they might go to World of Sport.
Can you imagine the money that he'd get and the matches that he could actually have?
Yeah, but why would WWE let him go at this time?
Because
we're just talking about the boom. We're just talking about the boom in wrestling.
Yeah, but I don't think people are happy working in WWE because of the limitations that they're putting on them. Daniel Bryan, especially, he was out of wrestling for 2 years. He was arguing that he could come back. He's come back, and he's back with Kane because I feel like they're trying to do a best of Daniel Bryan as quickly as possible before his contract runs out. There's rumours that who won the title? Ziggler won the title to like keep him interested because he's like losing faith in WWE. Like a guy like Ziggler would be amazing in Bullet Club, man.
Yeah, totally. But why would WWE not invest? This is what I'm asking you. We're talking about the boom in wrestling internationally, and particularly in the UK.
Yeah.
So why would they not invest in these people? Yeah, fair enough.
Because they've got the WWE style and people feel like it's holding them back, I think.
No, I'm talking about why would the WWE not invest money into keeping these people?
No, they will offer them contracts. They will absolutely offer them contracts. They will offer them millions and millions of pounds. But you think there's going to be a mass exodus which is led by the superstars?
Yes. So you think guys like Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler, no matter what they get offered, are going to leave?
I'm fed up of wrestling like this.
And they're probably watching guys like Cody Rhodes,
who did nothing in WWE really, and has gone massive.
Yeah, arguably the apart from Kenny Omega, the most successful independent wrestler on the planet at the minute.
Absolutely.
Young Bucks, of course.
Can you imagine what Daniel Bryan would do?
Dolph Ziggler, even.
Dolph Ziggler,
you're right. Bullet Club.
He'd be used so much better. And I think, maybe not. Neville might just be waiting for his contract to expire to go off.
That's true, because it's not technically expired.
Exactly. So I think it's a really interesting time. Let's go into the match because this podcast is going on forever. I hope you're enjoying it. Please give us a thumbs up.
We did think it was going to go on for a while, but we were very excited about this.
It's good.
Feel free to take a tea break, and then you can always rewind it.
Button.
You can always rewind it. Just rewind it. We should do one of those things. We should have like a little pop up. Pause button.
This is our interval poll. Interval poll for the audience.
Should we just stop while someone makes a cup of tea?
No.
Okay, that's a tea break. So that's where you stop the podcast and then carry on.
Next up, so the fourth man, Noam Dar, comes out. Nice to see Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox.
I love it. Mark Andrews looked amazing in the match.
Alicia Fox wasn't there, but I wish she was there just because she's cool, man. She's cool.
Because she's what?
She's cool.
Just be careful what you say, man.
She's cool,
man. You can't say that a lady looks cool. She has to look... I don't know. I just love your panic about calling females.
I'm just saying that they were a great pairing, and Noam Dar.
Are you talking about her breasts?
No, Noam Dar.
Noam Dar's breasts.
Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. Did I tell you I told you the story, didn't I, about why Vince McMahon put them together?
Yes, because he loves the way
that he says
because it sounds like something else. Yeah. Alicia Fox.
Anyway, so Yeah, No I'm Dar comes out. I wish they were still together as a team because I thought they were really entertaining. But
I mean, this is better.
This is better. I like his, I like the way his mannerisms. I like the champagne supernova thing because he's a massive Oasis fan. I like the wrist thing he does. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like his vibe.
He's good.
I like his
great.
vibe.
Mark Andrews, I thought was a star. Andrews
is really cool. He's in a fairly cheesy and kind of by numbers, but still okay pop. But no, some other generic name. My friends have supported them. He's apparently a very nice human being.
So he's in a pop punk band. He's in a pop punk band,
called Junior. Junior, they're called.
Yeah.
There was a nice moment where Nigel McGuinness was like, "Their new album's coming out in September." Easiest $10
I've ever made. Well, that was the easiest $50 I've ever made. That was great.
Yeah, that was cool. Really all power to like I say, I've not sold as many records as Mandrews, and all power to his pop punk band. I hope they do very well. I like the fact that he's so dynamic and he does so much stuff. His work in TNA was really good, as Mandrews too. He's worked really hard over the years as Mark Andrews to get here, and they obviously see something in him. I would say, not that it's impossible, of course, that Mark Andrews might catch our podcast at some point. I would say that his gimmick needs some work.
Agreed.
I think his moves are incredible. He's very Welsh. Which is cool.
He's very Welsh.
He's very Welsh, which is cool.
What sort of...
But no, I'm just saying he's very Welsh, which is cool.
He's very Welsh.
Which is,
which clearly means he likes sheep.
No.
That's what you were saying.
That's not what...
You basically went bar under the table to me. Bar.
It's on camera that I didn't do that. If we had a workplace code of conduct, I would be all over your bum right now. But not in a non-sexual way. I'd be like kicking your bum right now.
God, you are Mr. Censor today. I love it.
What I'm saying is that he's a great performer. I think he needs a better gimmick. I don't know what that is. His work in TNA was brilliant with DJ Z and a few other people. That was really fun. Incredible mover. Went for the X Division title there. I think he won it a couple of times. I don't know, but great performer, deserves to be where he is. I'm not sold on him.
I like him.
I'm not sold on him as his gimmick. But not everybody needs a gimmick.
No,
I think he needs a gimmick. Personally, that's just me.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I can see where you're coming from. It's a bit bland. It's not as defined as Sami Zayn's, who would be the sort of closest comparison in terms of style, I suppose.
Style, yeah.
But yeah, I like him. It's good. Noam Dar ends up winning the match, and the Coffey brothers.
Banks does his Banks does his thing, which is great. There's some decent, like I said, things in here in terms of the punches from Banks are really like, what was it? There was a moment where it wasn't Banks doing them. Dar was doing these punches to Banks, and Banks was just like, he was hulking up, and I think that's part of his character thing, which is fine. There was some good moments. I think Mandrews. There was a moment where the Frankensteiner.
Yeah, man.
The Frankensteiner where he gets reversed and he lands on his feet. I'm like, yeah, man. That was wicked.
I did write that one. Like, how do you do that, man? Mm-hmm. It was incredible.
The dynamic between the three of them was really good.
Yes.
There was a nice moment which we haven't mentioned. The 3-man submission thing that happens where Dar is in it and Banks is in it, and Flash comes in to stop him, that was a nice moment. That running kick from Dar, which is his finisher, I don't know if they have it on 2K18, but it's a wicked move.
Cool.
It's not what do they call that? It's Inzaguri, the running Inzaguri, man. It's a nice move.
Yeah, I think they've got him running Inzaguri, yeah. No, it's great. Noam Dar wins. Then Joe
and Mark,
Joe and Mark Coffey come down and attack everyone except Noam.
Noam Dar, it was really funny. Did Noam Dar not get attacked? I missed that. I thought he got running to the stairs.
Noam Dar was already on his way out, so he gets up the ramp, and then he sort of does this thing where he's like, "I'm gonna go and." No, I'm gonna walk away, which is really cool. Good character work, good fun. Great storyline. Next match, we have a North American Championship match on NXT UK.
Wolfgang does a promo
versus Adam Cole. Wolfgang has always been a face. Anytime that I've seen him at any live event, which I've been seeing him a few times.
In every other context, he probably is.
We all do that.
Yeah, was that boo? Was it boos or was it that? I think it was.
No,
boo.
no. It was,
when they were booing him, like it felt like
they
were
were booing him
him
later on. Yeah, but his whole thing is like he's a wolf. He's Wolfgang. He's the Gladwegian wolf.
I'm not sold on him.
I think I just like rhymed without meaning to.
You did.
I was
You're
really
a poet,
proud of
but
myself.
you don't know it.
So he's always been a face to me, and I thought he'd played a wonderful heel. Actually, I really enjoyed him as a heel. He did he almost, it felt like he went into the match sort of as a face, and then by the audience reaction turned it into a heel.
Yeah.
Adam Cole obviously can play that really well as well.
He did that. He did the reverse. And he tried to be a heel, and then eventually...
And then he just becomes a face naturally. And they both changed the style to suit it.
Adam Cole, Bobby Roode.
Dude.
Adam Cole, Bobby Roode.
Dude.
You gotta... Like, it's the same thing, except for the glory. But, like, you know, like, he just... take Bobby Roode and put him back in NXT. Not that it would happen. And let's have Adam Cole... Without the, Undisputed Era, still suffering from that wonderful gourmet pot noodle.
This is why you shouldn't eat pot noodles before the podcast.
Gourmet pot noodle. The glamorous life that we lead here at the Gimme a Hole Yeah Studios. That's what we're going to call it. It's your flat. Look at this, cool. Look at this fancy wall, you know.
Cool, man.
It's like a studio. we got to ask, just like in wrestling, we've got to ask our audience to suspend their disbelief. You know, we taught that in college.
It's my flat, man. It's just my flat.
Studio. the Gimme a Hole Yeah Studio flat.
Yeah, so go on. You're making your point.
I'm not. So Adam Cole, just all that is basically Bobby Roode's thing, except replace Baby with Glorious.
Yes.
He
even did the wind up. Actually,
everything Bobby Roode is, Adam Cole does better, in my opinion. And I'm not even that big. I'm not even that big a fan of Adam Cole, but I'm an even lesser fan of Bobby Roode.
But Bobby
as
Roode.
a heel, Bobby Roode works. As a face, he does not work. There are very few people that can make it work as both. Bobby Roode is not one of them. Adam Cole is one of them.
Agreed.
Anyway,
agreed.
So
but I'd also say Bobby Roode has a better theme song.
No, I
Glorious
like,
is good.
Glorious
man.
is alright.
Glorious
But so Wolfgang, not sold on him. I think this was, I think it was a decent. He was a decent in-ring awareness when he knew that he wasn't the face in this, and he turned it round a little bit.
It was a slow match, man.
Yeah, there was the running shining star from.
I wouldn't have expected
Cole.
A slow match with Adam Cole in it.
No, the running shining star from Cole was great. I feel like Cole carried Wolfgang a little bit here. Wolfgang, I think, was trying to sell a lot of his moves a lot more than... Like, he was taking his time. Like, I don't know why.
Too slow.
Was he trying to do... Was that a heel thing, or was he just trying to... Was he just slow?
I don't know.
A lot... And even the mid... even the commentators commented how slow he was getting up.
Yeah, I know. He shouldn't be pointing out stuff like that.
It was really... that's when if the commentators have to do it, that's when you know it's too slow.
There was also a lot of communicating between them that you could see. There was a really bad point where they'd sort of communicated to each other that we were doing a senton, and Adam Cole just sort of shuffled over to get into position to take it. Yeah. It felt a bit like a house show. The problem is nothing else on this card, felt like a house show. Yeah. And this one felt like a house show.
Yeah, match. I mean, like I say, I think there's a future for Wolfgang in WWE UK.
Yes,
I know he's been at NXT. I don't like his character right now, but I think he can develop. I think as a WWE UK performer, he's a solid mid-carder. Even in WWE UK.
I think he could be main event. If he was to just change his character and have him maybe slightly more.
There are other people.
Hell's Angels.
There are other people that could come in. Guys like, even though he ignores me on Twitter, Jimmy Havoc, that I think could come in.
That'd be good
from a UK standpoint. I know that's probably his character, but I'd still like more engagement. But that's just me.
If you feel like Dom, message us and we'll reply.
There you go. At least we'll reply to your tweets. It's not like we.
Do you reply to the tweets?
I reply to everybody's tweets.
Oh, awesome! You're amazing. Do people tweet us?
Sometimes.
So you reply to no one?
We don't.
You mean dick?
I've replied to 5 tweets this.
Oh, very good.
This last 2 months.
Oh, that's not as good as Facebook. Facebook does good.
Facebook does okay.
Facebook does.
We're on the way. We're on the way. So yeah, there are people that could come in here and do a much better job at being mid-card to main eventers. Guys that haven't had that spotlight yet, but then I'd prefer to see talents like the aforementioned and some of the guys in Hull go to World of Sport initially.
Yeah. I think give Wolfgang a bit of time, and I think you'll see a bit more.
And there's also plenty of scope for people to leave WWE NXT and go to World of Sport. In the future.
I do think
that pesky bloody non-complete clause. Apart from that,
I do think put him in the wrong match. I don't think Wolfgang should have been with Adam Cole tonight.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So let's move on, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, we should probably move on.
Quick interview with Moustache Mountain, the Brummies, Shara Cuddlers to celebrate the win.
Nice.
Felt a little bit awkward, but it was, they're not the best at promos, especially not Bate at the minute. He needs to work on it. Next match, we get Aleister Black and Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream and the top 1%.
Yeah, this was
EC3.
He was enjoying the crowd.
Oh, he
was. A little bit too much.
Oh, no, I loved it.
No. For the context of the match, like Dream comes out. Dream doesn't give him monkeys. Dream's a heel. Dream knows he's a heel. He doesn't care if you like him.
Yeah.
EC3 was like, yes. He was loving it. He was giving it all that.
I just found it fun. I think EC3 didn't expect that reaction. I don't think he gets that reaction everywhere else. And the crowd were loving EC3, and he was just a bit shocked of it and was like, "Yeah, come on, then we'll keep going. I'll see what I can get from you." And
the 1 year anniversary, it's worth mentioning, of Aleister Black being in the WWE.
Is it?
He debuted as Tommy End, which is his independence name, 1 year ago against Adrian Neville, or Neville as he was then. And Neville defeated him.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. I didn't know.
It was for the Cruiser. It was the last championship.
Cool.
So the last championship was a year, right? Not today, sorry. The last UK championship, whenever that was.
Oh, it was December.
Blackpool.
Oh, right, Blackpool. So like a year and a half ago, basically.
Sorry, yeah. Year and a half ago of this tournament, yeah.
Can I be honest? I'm not a fan of Ricochet's entrance.
Love it.
What, the whole lights, lasers? It's a bit corny, man.
You're a bit corny.
I don't like it. Fine. I wanted to see what you thought of it, and I think that...
I like it.
Do you like Sheamus' entrance?
No.
But you like... Ricochet's entrance? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Ricochet is a flashy dude.
Yeah, but I don't think... I think it's too corny. As a lighting designer, I'm telling you, I don't like it.
Yeah, all right. You're more qualified to say that.
No. It's interesting to hear your opinion.
From an entertainer's point of view, that's a Rock type entrance. That's a future world champion entrance, and he will do it. And I love his, I love his bloody superhero landing. His superhero landing thing that he does. I love all that. Love all that. Ricochet, man, future world champion.
Velveteen Dream.
Is also future world champion.
There's too many? You've got too many future world champions.
What are they doing with him though? Because he keeps losing everything.
So he comes
Although
out.
there's gonna have we're gonna have to talk of him in EC3 fighting.
That's fine. He'll probably lose.
Who's the face in that?
EC3.
No. And who wins that?
No, it can't be
EC3. EC3's gonna win it.
Yeah, EC3 will win it, but he's not the face.
What are they doing with him then? Because they're making him the Dolph Ziggler of NXT.
So he comes out and he's drapes himself over the barricades as the other two are coming out, like sexually drapes, and is sort of watching them. Looks great. What a good use. I've never seen anyone do that on the barricade. Yeah. Always in character. Perfect.
Yeah. Was it on the table or was it on the barricade?
It was on the barricade. It was on the behind where the announcer desk was, but the announcer desk was away on it. Ricochet and Black do a great job of mimicking each other's style. I thought they actually worked as a tag team.
The seating thing was great.
Where they do the springboard and then they both sit down at the same time. Really nice, actually. There was a lot of really good stuff in this match. A great moment where this was amazing, right? So Velveteen Dream goes up to the top rope. Ricochet is lying prone on the outside.
Yeah. He goes for the elbow.
Right. So he goes up to the top rope, calls for the elbow in Macho Man style. Yeah. And then the crowd, and it goes to a wide shot. It was really well filmed. The shot goes back, reveals the crowd, who all stand up, who are all excited to see this elbow on the turnbuckle.
Yeah, and then the outside,
No.
That
was brilliant, man. The entire crowd are booing. What a cracking heel move.
I think they were aware. They were aware, and Dream was aware. and Dream was very aware that they were supposed to be the heels.
Yes.
And he was very good at making them the heels.
Oh, he was great.
Because they weren't,
he was great.
He probably looked at how EC3, when EC3 came out, he was like, it's going to be mixed, and the fan reception is going to be mixed. As soon as you use something like that, you become the heel.
The crowd were booing but laughing at the same time.
You become the heel
because
team.
They know that they'd been had.
The same way, the same way as later on, where he fakes the injury because he can't, he's like, and he leaves EC3. That's heel.
Does he fake the injury?
Yeah, well, when he drops off the.
I know it was a kayfabe injury, but I don't know if he faked it.
But why would he leave? Why did he leave? He left.
Storyline.
Well, he's that's what I'm saying. EC3 is going to be the face when they face off.
No, Velveteen will be the face.
No, because look at Velveteen's action. How are they going to sell that?
How can EC3 be
well, how are they going to sell that? Oh, the Dream left EC3 to lose.
Okay, all right. So EC3 has to change his whole top 1% to
no,
he does.
That's a face thing.
It's not a face thing.
Yes, it is a face thing.
I'm the best in the world.
Look at bloody CM Punk and Chris Jericho.
CM Punk is different to EC3.
No, it's not the same. It's the same. It's not a difference. It's not different. Guaranteed. All right, let's put money on it. EC3, Velveteen Dream.
I'll put money on that.
I'll put money on that.
£2. Velveteen Dream is the face.
EC3 is the face.
Cool. Can't
£2.
wait for that one. £2.
Wait. Something needs to be said. There's a couple of nice moments in this match where Dream distracts the referee so that a chair can be brought in.
Yes, he does.
And the referee doesn't see the tag from Aleister Black and Ricochet. That was classic heel stuff there.
It was classic wrestling tag team stuff.
Classic wrestling tag team. There's some really nice moves. Like Ricochet has this kind of really cool double team dynamic with Aleister Black. If they were both mid-carders, they would make a great tag team, but that will never happen.
I'd quite like to see them become mid-carders. Not mid-carders, become tag team.
But I genuinely think perhaps they're going to do the old school storyline where I think Ricochet becomes a number one contender soon.
No, because I don't think Aleister Black is keeping the title.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Cool.
I think Ricochet is the next championship challenger. Perhaps they do what they do on the main roster a lot and in wrestling a lot, where they both become tag team champions. Or one of them's the world champion, and then they become tag team champions, and then that person betrays the other person, and it sets up the world title feud.
I don't like it.
Well, that could happen.
I don't like it.
What do you think's going to happen?
What do I think happened? I think Aleister Black's going to lose his title to Tommaso Ciampa. The championship picture is Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, and I'm happy with that to add another dynamic to their feud.
That'd be amazing. But
Aleister Black, I think, would do well with Ricochet. I am liking Aleister Black less and less. I warn you. I don't think he's doing enough. He did in this match, but in general, I don't think it is. The thing that I really like about Aleister Black is where he sits down. And he did it a lot in this match, but he's stopped doing it a lot. He didn't do it as much with Lars Sullivan the other week, right? And the thing that I like about that is it makes him unique, and it's the idea of I'm going to wait for you.
He's like in Zen. He's like
Zen.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for you to go for me, and I think by losing that, I'm losing interest.
Interesting. Yeah. I can see your point.
And I just don't think his title reign has been wonderful, if I'm honest. Anyway, let's move on. Ricochet manages to fend off against Velveteen and EC3. I think this is what you were talking about. It's a really beautifully composed segment where he's sort of fighting off both of them. And then it ends in a great way. So somehow EC3's head ends up in Velveteen's arm. Yeah. Ricochet sort of gives a neck breaker to Velveteen Dream whilst his head's stuck in there. So EC3 gets DDT'd by Velveteen.
That was lovely,
And because of the sort of pace that it had all worked in, it felt like it worked.
And the leg injury happened, I think, because EC3 knocked Dream from the turnbuckle.
So EC3 went to stand up on the apron and pulled down the rope as he was getting up, so he fell down.
That was it.
And hurt himself.
Yeah.
All four men were wonderful in this, really, really going full out and showing the full range of the movesets. Like I said to you, this was my best Black match in a long time, actually.
Yeah, like you say, there was a nice moment. I think you were about to allude to it before I interrupted. I do apologise. Where EC3 is like, Dream, and the Dream's headed off.
So Velveteen Dream walks away. This is
Dream's doing classic heel. Dream's classic. He's walking off. He's gone.
He's gone. It's enough, right? And EC3 is there like, what are you doing, Dream? What are you doing? Right? And he knows that Aleister Black's behind him.
It's a long bit.
He really holds it for so long, and that makes it
Dream's
so
like,
good.
Aleister Black's like, he's
just
like
behind him.
He's pointing, he's pointing, he's doing, he's like
crowd
sizing
are
him
getting
up.
excited, and EC3 knows what's about to happen, and he clenches his fist, and he looks directly at the camera and goes, and then turns around, just gets Black Mass
and
out.
the sell as well. EC3 selling here was like. It was
so good. That's the win for Ricochet.
I could watch that.
A nice moment afterwards where Ricochet picks up the belt, looks at it for a while before giving it to Aleister Black, alluding to some sort of. I don't think Ricochet is established enough right now within NXT to be able to put him in a face-face champion feud, which is a massive thing for WWF to do.
Yeah.
They don't do that lightly. You know, look at Shinsuke and AJ, right?
Yeah.
They can't even do face-to-face with them. They still turn one heel.
Yeah.
So,
no, see,
that'd be where I'd like to say there. Next match: Shayna Baszler versus Toni Storm.
Really.
Two more matches.
We could do it. Right, so Baszler Storm, they were both really impressive here. Baszler, man, is the scariest female performer.
Do you like Baszler?
I like her more and more.
I struggle, man. Like, I like her. She feels real, but I don't feel like the matches are very wrestling orientated. It's all about submission. And I'm missing at the minute. When Asuka's reign was a dominant reign, but there was a lot of dynamic. Look at her stuff with Ember Moon. It was great.
No, you're right.
And I miss stuff like that actually from NXT.
It's good. I mean, I like Toni Storm brought something to it. You know, I thought her. You know, the way she sells in this is great.
Oh, amazing!
You know, the way she, you know, she's resilient. Excuse me. You know, she reverses out of that clutch maneuver that's dominated loads of people, which is really nice.
Yeah,
I do think
in a really nice way actually, by sort of rolling over both of them. Yeah,
I like Baszler, and I think Baszler's going to go. I think Baszler would be the perfect antithesis for someone like Charlotte. You know, this. The way she the way she smirks.
Yeah,
it's evil.
I tell you,
but she's like the way she smirks at people, man, is evil. Like, and it gives
my problem with Baszler is she's got the championship, and I sort of feel like she could be that much of a bully that she doesn't need the championship. Like, she can. I don't think it
gives her legitimacy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's legitimacy.
I mean, I like the stuff where she's breaking people's arms.
The thing I don't like about NXT, the only thing I don't like about NXT, one of the few things is the route is so well trodden now.
Yeah.
With exception to Gargano and Ciampa. You know what's going to happen. You know how they're playing it. You know, Baszler's going to dominate people. Then one person's going to, you know, the next in line is going to take it. Yeah. Baszler's going up to team with Rousey and do the 4 horsewoman thing or whatever. You know, and it's so. What was that?
If Rousey's around for that long.
That's true. It's so well trodden now, and it's like there's no variation on that. You know, Black is going to go on to, you know, he's going to lose whenever it comes. He's going to go up to the main roster
and be lost in nothing.
I bloody well hope not.
Well, look, man. I mean,
so talented. He's one of my favourites at the minute. I've got a lot of time for him, but we'll see.
So the match is it's a really good Baszler match. It's a lot better than a lot of the matches. Toni Storm is incredible, and she was good in the Mae Young Classic. They need to get her on like full time now, like right now. She's young and she is so ready to go. She could be a champion easily. Yeah. And you know, I don't say that as often. The crowd chants seem to agree as well. Like, you've got a champion, and I don't necessarily think it's that she's a heel. I think it's because people are starting to get a little bit bored of Baszler, and the entire crowd, apart from like 3 people, are chanting for Toni Storm. Yeah. Is that because she's a heel, or is that because people are getting?
No, I genuinely think she's a legitimate badass, legitimate heel.
Right.
I think you're right that a few people will be bored with her versus say an Ember Moon, but there's not been a heel champion.
Wrestling.
There's not been a heel champion in a while. A proper full-on heel champion. Asuka, but she wasn't a full-on. Like, people cheered her. People cheered her.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, people cheered her even when she was a heel.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't do that with Baszler. She is hard heel. She is like career heel.
Yeah.
Right now, in my opinion, you can't make Baszler a face ever, and she's a career bad guy. She's a career bad guy.
Yeah, but
There's
I would have
very
said that
few of
about
those.
Pete Dunne, and I mean, jeez. Not that I'm complaining. Pete Dunne is still amazing. Storm does a really good job. So a lot of the storyline in this match is about Baszler going for the leg. There's the sort of leg breaks, them nasty sort of blurbs, if you like. I suppose that's good, but I just don't think we need the championship on it anymore. I think we can have Baszler dominating backstage and bullying backstage.
We'll see.
Storm hits Storm 0, but her knee goes because of the constant attacks to the knee. She gets a very near 3 count at this point. The Karakuda clutch, they're calling it, as opposed to Samoa Joe's, which is the Kakida clutch, isn't it? The Karakuda clutch nearly puts Storm to sleep, but she rolls to the rope. She gets away, which you
nice.
don't
see.
I
don't think we've seen that yet, or very rarely.
And to do that with a superstar that's not in the WWE as much as, say,
shows that they've got
Nikki
faith.
Cross.
Yeah,
shows they've got faith in Toni Storm. Then Shayna Baszler goes outside the ring, puts it back on again.
Yeah, the win was like that. If that's not a nod to anybody. I mean, talking about Toni Storm.
Yeah.
Like, who's lost to Shayna Baszler on a count out? Like,
no one.
She was like, I can't beat Toni Storm legitimately.
Yes.
So, well, I suppose it is a legitimate win.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it by getting counted out.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen very often. Like,
it was great.
That was a definite. That was a definite nod. Like,
I wish that Baszler had held on to Toni Storm a little longer.
She comes back.
Oh yeah, she comes back. When she goes outside the ring and she was choking her outside the win, I wish Baszler was holding on to it until the 9 count, so it was a little bit more of a Baszler thinking cleverly. Like, I will. She won't be out, but she'll be out enough for me to just sneak the win. I think.
Which does feel like
better.
it. Yeah, but that does feel like that anyway because she got the count out.
Yeah, but she gets into the ring and then the ref starts counting. So. Almost, so it's like at 2 or 3 or something. So I think that would have been really interesting and shown like a little bit more of a strategy side to Baszler that we've not seen yet.
I personally think that was there.
We've been talking for a long time. Where is this going?
I personally think that was there. I think that strategy was there.
Cool.
I think it was communicated.
Cool. After she wins, she goes out. Yay, we're winning. It's to a spade.
Yep.
Diamond cutter.
Queen spades.
Bang. She gets back into the ring and delivers the Karakuda again. Really good. Can we see more Toni Storm, please? WWE, let's make it goddamn happen.
Very rarely. Well, actually, no, we're on the same page more and more these days. But I think that's definitely a definite for me too.
Still don't like Ziggler. Next up,
what the hell's why Ziggler got? What's Ziggler got to do with it? Oh, you just being a muppet.
Yeah, apparently. Next up, we've got Zack Gibson versus Pete Dunne. The last match of a truly awesome 2 nights.
I agree with you that he'd be better in New Japan.
Thank you. More If You Hate Gibson Stand Up, an amazing chant. This is the chant that we were talking about earlier, which is awesome. Where is it?
If you hate Gibson.
Oh yes, if you hate Gibson, shoes off.
Yeah.
If you hate Gibson, shoes off. And you see half of the crowd standing up with a shoe in the air. Like, what dedication is that to take your shoe off at a wrestling event to show your hate? Amazing. That was a hilarious chant. That was brilliant. More of that. Can we please transfer that?
British fans are...
Awesome. Can we transfer that to a Roman's Reign match, please? Because that will really Roman Reigns match. Because that will really annoy
in the
Vince
UK. Because it'll never happen in the US.
US, if you're watching it, get your shoes off for a Roman Reigns. Vincent hate that man.
People in the US, and hello to my friends in the US and anybody else. You know, our humour doesn't translate as well, but I'd like to see it.
Oh man, it's hilarious. Yeah, there was other chants which were way too expletive to say on YouTube.
The U Scouse. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Paul Gibson.
Yeah, and it's not that we hate Liverpool. It's just it's a very British sort of manly thing. We're men.
Arg.
Yeah. The two have a great match. Seeing Dunne trying to single out and twist Gibson's extremities.
Every time.
He's so good at that.
Oh, but it's so... And they both do it too.
Yeah, they do it.
They had a joint manipulation. Like,
it was great. Like
battle
off.
Oh, man, every time.
You could almost call it a thumb war.
Amazing. That was good. That might have been the best gag you've ever done on this podcast.
Thanks, my friend.
What was that? Why you go off?
I don't know, dude. I'm tired. We've been talking for 2 hours.
The joint manipulation was crazy. That was
It's great.
The bitter end gets kicked. The bitter end is kind of like, to me, well, it looks the same as like the F5. Like if you kick out the bitter end, it delegitimizes it. And Gibson kicks out of it, so that was massive.
Yeah, but
like,
it feels big.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that.
And it feels the right time to do it.
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that if they didn't think that Gibson was a potential main roster, as in main WWE talent. They wanted in the same way they did with Storm in the previous match. They are going to do stuff. If they take 2 people from this tournament, Tony Storm, Zach Gibson, we'll take them, and we're not
Flashman.
No, but no. I'm not talking. I'm not talking WWE UK.
Main roster.
I'm talking about, and they're not going to take them to main roster straight away. I'm talking like NXT. I'm talking about move them to
UK
Florida.
NXT is going to be better than NXT.
It'll take some time. We'll see.
It could be, man. It could be. Well, the sport could be better than NXT. It's so exciting, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I was nice.
Pete Dunne is selling the injured arm early on, so Pete Dunne gets out of a Shankly gate later on in the match. So I think that what you're saying about Gibson getting out of Pete Dunne's finisher actually works the other way around as well, and that's what makes it feel special.
That's what happened with Banks too,
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe Travis Banks was my other guy. Whether I like him or not,
I don't know. We see that code breaker type thing from the second rope again. The lung blower.
Yeah, which is different to the Ticket to Ride, isn't it? Which is the tombstone.
Yes.
Code breaker.
Yeah, Pete Dunne when Gibson got on the Shankly gates, it looked like Pete Dunne was crying almost. Yeah, which was amazing.
Yeah. It looked like he was in real pain.
He looked like he was in real pain.
Yeah. And they did this in Gibson and Banks too. Same moment. I don't know where those were. Where they both got their heads on the rope. They're both looking at each other. They're both looking at each other.
Yeah,
they did the same thing, right?
Yeah,
they did the same exact moment.
Yeah, but it felt more endless. Yeah. And so, like, when you see Pete Dunne, like, nearly in tears, it's...
Never seen that before.
You've never seen it before. It doesn't necessarily feel like he's hurt. It feels like, oh, God, he's going to lose the championship. And, wow, he did amazing. I've never seen that from Pete Dunne, and it was great.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne delivers the bitter end for the win in the end.
Second one,
What an incredible match. Triple H comes out to raise a hand.
The whole UK roster comes out as well. Nice to see guys like Ligero there as well. Like obviously, they bought them all there.
Yep. So which was good. They're going to invest in these people, and that's awesome.
It is good. It is good. It shows that they do care, and it also, again, it's probably a Triple H or Vince McMahon like little wag to World of Honor.
Yeah. This is
what we've got.
Yeah. Tony Storm was there. I hope if she was in the UK, that'd be amazing. But I don't think it will happen. What a pay-per-view, man! We should have gone.
I think the New Zealand guys are going to end up on NXT.
Cool.
I think the New Zealand performers are going to end up on main NXT.
Cool.
Well, that was good.
That was a marathon of a podcast.
We did it.
If you stayed with us, man,
Thanks.
Comment down below that you stayed to the end.
Yeah, we'll give you a sweetie.
As you can tell, we're both really excited about this. I hope you don't mind that it's taken over our normal Wrestling Classic content.
Yeah, we could have done it in 2 parts, I suppose, but we just wanted to get through it. Because
if you're going to watch it, you're going to watch it.
The momentum.
So we're thinking we don't know exactly how we're going to cover the NXT UK, but we are looking at ways of doing it. But we'll sort of leave that for when we sort of get to it.
We'll look at it.
Well, let's sign out, Dom. So thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like button. And what do you want people to do?
Keep it gay.